What's up and welcome back to the Section 10 Podcast, episode 544, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 2019 second place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building.
In the mother fucking building. Brewed by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie, who's he's not here this evening. Still reeling from that Celtics loss, I believe. He's not taking it well. Yeah, we're not going to talk Celtics. There's nothing to say. I feel like Coley, like he's one of those guys too, where like Celtics have like a big nasty loss, and I stay clear. I'm like, I don't even want to say anything to this guy. Like, what do you say to him? Like Steve, I know is probably like, well, what are you gonna do? You know.
That's exactly the talk I had with my dad last night. I was like, hey, you lose some, you win some, and they've lost too. You know?
Yeah, like it's easier with Steve. Like I feel like Steve, he'll get upset about it. He'll go to bed, wake up the next morning, and be like, "Well, it's a new day. It's a new day to take on the world."
That's normally
Coley.
what
I feel like, like Coley's wearing that shit, you know. Mm-hmm. So
I walked my dogs earlier today, and my neighbor, who was a basketball coach, jogs by. And like just the second,
I thought his name was Jugs.
Yeah, Jugs.
My neighbor
goes
Jugs.
by Jogs by.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck kind of name is that?
Yeah.
He jogs by and he just goes, "Could use you shooting out there last night?" And I was just like, we just don't need to. Like, I get it. I agree. Like, but it's just one of these things. Like, it just brings
Didn't
down.
land, you know.
And no, it like I get it. We could have, honestly. Like, I would have shot better than a lot of those players. Like, that's not really... Like, the defense would have been atrocious. We would have given up more points if I was out there. But we would have hit more shots, no question. It's tough. But it's where I miss playoff baseball. Because playoff baseball is more intense pitch to pitch. But when you lose, you typically just get to play the next day and get back at it. Basketball... We're looking at 48 hours in between tip-offs where it's just like I need to see a win just so I can get back to my normal self.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
Well, it is what it is, right, guys?
It's a new day.
Yeah, it's a new day to attack the world.
I was super worried last night the Celtics were going to be simultaneously choking away another 20-point lead and tied in the eighth that was about to pop up while I was streaming, because I was super on the table. I had one eye on that, and I was just like, please do something. And thankfully, the fellas did. So luckily, nothing bad to talk about Red Sox-wise. Only the Celtics can bring me down.
The timing was tough. That's a good point there, Coley, because the Celtics collapse was happening while the Red Sox were doing some real fun things. Alex Bregman was just playing some great baseball. Like they were, adding on some insurance runs, scoring late, which is crazy. What a wild concept. And then 44 comes in, throws 104 miles an hour. Yeah. And the Celtics lost game 2. So it was a weird, thing to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Well,
Steve, I'm glad you mentioned it because Underdog just dropped their playoff basketball promo. Mm-hmm. And with the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. You're going to want to see how serious it gets when that Game 7 hits. Hop on Underdog, the best place to make picks during playoff basketball. Get started right now. You can sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared. To get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Why is Chris Castillo in my fucking mentions right now saying that he doesn't speak Spanish?
I mean, that's his native tongue. Yeah, that's bizarre.
This is going to be a big theme throughout the show tonight, obviously with the Rafael Devers drama, which we're going to spend a decent amount of time on, dissecting, sifting through the rubble. But I've got Chris Castillo being like, it's Jared's fault and everyone thinks I speak Spanish. Like, you do, dude. Like, you're Chris Castillo, Mexican Times. That'd be actually a crazy plot twist if the Red Sox beat writer for the Mexican Times didn't speak Spanish. Steve?
This is something that kind of drove me nuts, and you mentioning Chris Castillo, I think this is a good time to mention this. This is one of the craziest line of quotes we've gotten from a Red Sox player ever, and it was kind of hard to find them. What are you guys all doing? How are they not all tweeting these out? They'll all tweet out the quote that's like, yeah, really excited for the season. Like, thank God you guys all put that one out there. These quotes are insane. Credit to Chris Smith, by the way. He had all of them. He put all the quotes down, tweeted them all out separately so they were easy to find. And Castillo's just tossing them some retweets. Like, Chris, this, again, it's your native tongue. You should know what he's saying. We're going to be the ones that end up translating it, thanks to Jerry.
Oh, we're going to translate it. Thanks to Carlos.
All thanks to Carlos. All of these accounts, all of these reporters should have been putting all of these quotes out there. Instead, it's like, yeah, Raffy's not playing first. Like, come on. What are we doing?
Did Chris just get these quotes by himself? Like, was this a sidle? Was he just
this was in the clubhouse because we have video of it now. The video is hilarious, by the way. I mean, we'll get into all of this, but yeah, we have video of it. So it was a media scrum. Yeah,
we got video. I don't think that they're like, so all right, here's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Where do we start here? I don't really know.
Red Sox lose 5-0.
Yeah.
We got to sift through the series. There's a lot to get to.
Yeah, game one.
There's a lot to get to. Yeah. Game one, fucking unobstructed views debut. That was just a tough night at the office, you know?
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah.
Unobstructed
tough game
poos.
to have. Yeah, people are saying that. Now I'm getting roasted in my own house, you know, whenever that commercial comes. Oh, whenever that commercial comes on in my house, the girls are like, "Oh, is that the fucking Superfan? Superfan!" Yeah. Cooked my ass. So we have a.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, they're like, it's the Superfan.
Is that what Superfans do?
Well, Usain Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
They just show up to the game and just woohoo!
Yeah, I'm getting cooked. In my house.
Good.
Carlos is a Section 10 listener. There was another fan who had an anonymous account. Name not being used on this account, but we had like a back and forth about, you know, I can just read it. Native Spanish speaker here thought I should give you my 2 cents in case you guys aren't recording yet. The translator isn't accurately translating everything as some people are saying, but he's making it sound much better than what Raffy is actually saying. He does sound pretty pissed off and multiple times says something along the lines of, quote, I don't know what issue that person, Breslow, has with me. It seems like he's angry at Breslow the most. He also says something like their word is worthless, which there's no literal translation for. These things are the main issues the translator didn't translate at all, and if anything, made Raffy's answers sound a little bit friendlier than they actually were. He probably hates Breslow. He also made it sound like if they handled the change to DH better, he would be open to changing to first base. He doesn't answer the question directly when asked if he misses playing the field, just says that they took that away from him and cannot be expected to then come back to a different position when the GM should do his job and find a solution in the market. These are the main takeaways I haven't seen mentioned in English in the English-speaking section of Red Sox Twitter because they were either not translated at all or the translator decided to just make his answers friendlier. And we love Davison here, but that's doesn't seem like this seems like the second time that's now happened with a Raffy scrum.
To be fair, Chris Smith does have that second quote.
Huh?
Chris Smith did put out the second quote. So that it's not like Davison didn't say that. Unless Chris Smith's just directly translating.
What's the second quote though? What is that?
The telling Breslow to go be a GM and go get a first baseman.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that was out there, but I think there was also like a misinterpretation about like him playing first base at all. Like I saw someone say like, you know, it's not a flat out no. I don't know. We'll get into it because Carlos sent me, Section 10 listener Carlos sent me what his translation was. So we can dive into that as well.
It's a lot to get to here.
Steve, my headphones are too loud, you say?
I can hear myself through your headphones is all.
And they're the same level they've always been, brother. Yep.
Is it me?
Is it McMahon?
Yeah, he's wearing earbuds.
I always do. I've changed nothing.
Oh, okay. All right.
What do you mean, really?
Yeah, I can hear myself. Why can't I hear myself?
I don't know. Can you hear?
Typically, it's because it's coming through the headphones. Blah, blah, blah. No, I still can. So that cancels Coley out.
Huh?
I think it's you. Wait, Jerry, can you mute?
Suck a dick, dumb shit.
How do I mute?
Just on Riverside, right?
Hold on.
Dude, it's the fucking button.
Yeah, it says mic.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
You just smash the mic button.
Speaker
Never
or
muted
mic?
on this program.
Just
Mic.
mic. Just mic, brother.
Mic?
Yeah. What? Yeah, it's Jared. It's coming from Jared's. Why is it doing that?
I don't know. But I've changed nothing.
Can you still hear us fine if you turn the Super fan. If you turn your headphones down, are you still okay?
You did something clearly. Maybe Ace was just in there watching tentacle
we can
porn.
keep it rolling. It was just driving me nuts. I had to say something.
Is it still happening?
We should be fine. Yeah, I think we're good. I don't hear myself. So. If you were hearing yourself back like a second later from what you were saying, you'd probably
right? that would annoy me too, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's a new day though. Here we go. Let's have some fun. There we go.
Right. Right.
All right, here we go.
So here's what do we want to listen to it first and then hear the translation?
First? We should listen first.
We should listen first and then
play it. But
for the record, Jerry, it starts at like the 3-minute. Like this is the funny thing, by the way. They start asking like, "Oh, so home run today?" Blah blah blah. They get through like 3 minutes of small talk, and then it just starts going crazy.
Crazy. All right.
You should be actively translating it while it's playing, so it's like closed captions. People will hate that.
So it's just
do the thing people will hate. You bring back the chewing the gum.
Continuous process.
Raffy, we haven't talked to you since Tristan's injury. Alex has been asked a couple of times about, possibly you playing first base. Is that something you're open to if they ask?
No, ellos me hicieron la pregunta ya, pero creo que ellos también me pusieron a jugar otra posición en pin training y creo que se ve muy feo de su parte. No tengo 2 meses jugando una posición y creo que se ve muy feo de su parte que me pidan que juegue otra posición ahora.
Yeah, no, they had the conversation with me. I don't think me personally it's the best decision after they asked me to play a different position, and I'd only have 2 months playing this position to all of a sudden have me try to play another position. So from my end, it doesn't seem like a good decision.
The conversation with you happened after Tristan's injury, I'm assuming?
Sí, después que pasó lo que pasó con Casa, vinieron de mí y yo sé que soy un pelotero, pero tampoco puedo jugar todas las posiciones, no me puedo adaptar como cualquier otro pelotero a una posición. Si de jugar primera saben que no va a jugar de una vez, pero no es muy buena la decisión. Vinieron hacia mí, fue ahora, no sé por qué. Ellos mismos me quitaron de una posición, me dijeron que, vamos a decir, que boté mi guante, que no iba a jugar más posición y algo como sin sentido que me pida que vuelva a jugar una posición.
Yeah, it was after the Casas, what happened to Casas happened. They came to me and talked to me about it. And I, ¿cómo fue? ¿Después que te hablaron?
Que no es buena decisión que ellos vengan hacia mí ahora porque no se ve bien porque me dijeron que no iba a cubrir mi posición en pin trainer y ahora me vuelven a decir que...
Yeah, I know I'm a ball player, but at the same time, they can't expect me to play, every single position out there. In spring training, they, talked to me and basically, told me to put away my glove, that I wasn't going to play any other position but DH. So right now I just feel like it's not an appropriate decision by them to ask me to play another position.
And I'm assuming the conversation, like, it was with Alex and Craig Breslow.
No, fue solamente con el gerente, no sé qué le pasa a esa persona conmigo, él jugó pelota, creo que él también entiende que es muy difícil cambiar de posición así, creo que la pelota que él jugó no fue esta que estamos jugando ahora.
Yeah, it was the GM that I spoke with. I'm not certain what he has with me. He played ball, and I would like to think that he knows that changing positions like that isn't easy.
Because of the conversation that you had in spring training, switching to being a designated hitter, do you feel like that now makes it, you've already put it behind you, like missing the field, not playing the field, you put that behind you?
Que si tú ese deseo de jugar en el terreno, tú lo has abandonado ya después de las decisiones que se han tomado aquí.
Ellos mismos me pusieron en esa decisión, ellos mismos me pusieron que más nunca iba a jugar otra posición que no sea DA y ahora me están poniendo como en between, no sé por qué. Que hagan su trabajo, que busquen otro pelotero, que salgan al mercado y creo que esa sería la mejor decisión, que aprendan a trabajar en su nuevo trabajo.
Yeah, they put me in this situation. They told me that they didn't want to allow me to play any other position, and now I think they should do their jobs essentially and hit the market and look for another player. I'm not sure why they want me to be in between the way they have me now.
Raffy, could you change your mind over time? Is there a possibility to change your mind over?
No, yo soy como ellos mismos dicen, yo soy un poquito terco y creo que esta vez no puedo cambiar mi mentalidad. Le dije a ellos cuál era mi opinión y ya.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. Like they just told me. I'm
not quite sure.
No. I think he's leaning no.
They already asked me to change once, and this time I don't think I can be as flexible.
I don't think so.
Were you upset that they asked you about another position?
Sí, claro, porque ellos no tienen palabra porque ya me pusieron en la posición y ellos mismos me dieron me dieron la confianza de que no iba a pasar más y no tienen palabra.
I don't feel that they stay true to their word. They asked me to they told me that I was going to be playing this position, DH, and now they're going back on that. So I just don't think they stay true to their word.
In spring training, after during the DH questions, you said there's no beef with the team. Are things okay with you and the team, or?
Que si todo está bien con usted y el equipo, que en el sprint training dijiste que no había ningún conflicto con usted y el equipo, pero que sí hay ahora.
Aquí en el club ahora gracias a Dios no, pero no sé qué le pasa al gerente conmigo, cree que soy un tipo de pelotero que lo puede estar moviendo para todo tipo de posiciones, ahorita se lesiona un outfield y me va a mandar para el outfield y yo no puedo aceptar eso porque ese tipo de pelotero que soy y creo que donde quiera que me manden, creo que hago buen trabajo.
Yeah, here in the clubhouse, thankfully, the relationship that I have with my teammates is great. I don't understand some of the decisions that the GM makes. Next thing you know, someone in the outfield gets hurt and they want me to play in the outfield. I think I know the kind of player that I am. That's just where I stand.
Okay. So
Man. Bars.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. So what Carlos is saying, and this is obviously to have the back of Davison here, is that most of the translation is spot on. There are some things that he did not share with the class. So This is what Carlos
Also,
says.
I don't even like it being framed like that. If you told me a long sentence and I had to repeat it in English, I would not get
that's
the
fair.
same sentence.
No,
so, like,
that's fair.
I don't know that there's like he's not doing anything like malicious.
No, I don't think it's
especially with what
intentional.
let's be honest, with what he said, like with the things that Davison said, like those are aggressive things. So I don't think he's in a mindset of let's lighten this up a
Let's
little bit.
protect
He
it.
basically
Yeah,
said
no,
the
no, no,
GM
no,
sucks.
no.
Like I don't think he's pulling back.
He's also employed by the team.
Dude, I gotta say, one of the funniest things of all of this is that he keeps looking over at Raffy. If you see the video, and it's almost like, God damn it! Like,
I don't 340
so
coming to me, big dog.
I think this team's super stupid, and I hate everything they're doing. I don't want to say this.
Yeah. It's like when the genie is like under the evil command. It's like now blow up this building, and he's like, God damn it, I have to do it, but I don't want to do it.
It was like Spanish Buzz Lightyear, actually. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Here's what Carlos says. Yes, after what happened with Casas, they came to me. I know I'm a ball player, but I can't play all positions either. I can't adapt to a position like any other ball player. If it's about playing first, they know it's not going to be an immediate success or it won't get played right away, but it's not a very good decision. They came to me. It was now. I don't know why. If they themselves took me off a position, they told me that I had to throw away my glove, that I wasn't going to play a position anymore, and it's kind of senseless for them to ask me to play a position again.
He can't even keep his glove. He's got to throw it in the trash.
Listen, they haven't just done that to Devers. They did it to Yoshida too, where they were like, "You'll never play the field." Like I understand why people are frustrated with Raffy. Pretty much everything he said is correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They probably literally told him to throw away his glove. I think that was like a word for. I don't think that was like a phrase. I think that was word for word what they said.
They brought him a trash can.
Yeah, you can throw it here, and we need to see you do it.
That it's not a good decision for them to come to me now because it just doesn't look good after they told me I wasn't going to cover my position in spring training, and now they're telling me again that no, it was only the GM. I don't know what that person's issue is with me. He played ball. I think he also understands that it's very difficult to change positions like that. I believe the baseball he played is not the baseball we're playing now. So like that line, not in there.
No. That's a big one.
Does he miss playing in right field? I could play one position. He's a one position guy. He's asking me to play every position on the field.
Does he miss playing the field? They themselves put me in that situation. They themselves told me I would never again play any position other than DH. And now they're putting me in a bind or in between. I don't know why. Let them do their job. Let them find another player. Let them go to the market. I think that will be the best decision. Let them learn how to do their new job.
Their new job.
So he's basically saying,
the one
like,
that
hey,
they're not even
Breslow,
used to doing. Yeah, here's your new job.
Hey,
you
buddy
suck
boy, you're the GM. Go find a fucking first baseman because I'm not.
Go
one.
GM.
Yeah, that's what they do. They find replacements, you moron. It's basically what
if he thinks he'll change his mind. No. I am, as they themselves say, a little stubborn, and I believe this time I cannot change my mindset. I told them what my opinion was, and that's it. It's a little different than, I don't know, he's thinking about it, maybe.
Come back to him next week and see what he says.
Yeah. Were you upset because they asked you this? Yes, of course, because they don't keep their word. They don't keep their word because they already made me change from one position, and they themselves gave me, let's say, the assurance that it won't happen again, and they don't keep their word. If there is beef with the team. In the clubhouse, thank God, no. But I don't know what the GM's issue is with me. He thinks I'm the type of player that he can just keep moving to all sorts of positions. Soon an outfielder will get injured and he'll send me to the outfield, and I can't accept that because of the type of player that I am. And I believe that wherever they might send me, I do a good job.
Maybe accept the outfield. But.
So yeah, it's
listen,
pretty similar,
out
but
there. I'm fine with trying it.
It's pretty similar. Obviously, there were like a couple parts here and there that differentiated. I think ultimately, people are going to ask like, whose side are you on? And I'm kind of somewhere in the middle where and I know that everyone's gonna be, oh yeah, you don't have.
Yeah, no one wants
like
that.
I don't give a fuck about like takes. Like this is my honest opinion. This is how I honestly feel about it. This is my honest opinion on it. If I were Devers, I would also be pissed and I would feel slighted. If you told me I'm the third baseman and I'm going to be the third baseman, whatever, and, you know, obviously Cora had the legendary line of the guy that told you that's not here anymore in reference to Chaim Bloom, that's fine. But then you also said you're going to DH and you're going to be the DH. And now you're asking me to be the first baseman. I think with Latin players, and this is a double-sided argument as well, with Latin players, because there was a caller in a 98.5, the fucking Sports Hub tonight, talking about, does he care more about winning or does he care more about money? The answer to that question is I believe he cares more about respect. Mm-hmm. And this is a respect issue of, I'm the longest tenured. I'm the only guy walking around here that has a World Series ring that has the Red Sox logo on it. You paid me the most money in franchise history, and now you want to take my position away, which again, like I think ultimately Raffy should have looked at it and said, okay, you guys added Alex Bregman, because if you want to rewind even further back, Raffy was the guy that sat on the bench in spring training 2 years ago and said, hey, and it was in the Red Sox Netflix doc where he was like, hey, are you guys going to fucking try? Are you guys going to spend some money? And then you saw behind the scenes that Breslow had to sit him down privately. It was Cora, it was Breslow, it was Bailey. And they had to be like, hey, are we all on the same page here? And he was like, no, I think we're good. But I think we're good. We could be better in some areas. But publicly, Raffy was saying, that was a bullshit offseason. You guys didn't try very hard. Well, the following offseason, which he was right. Again, he was right. The following offseason, Alex Bregman was the guy. You know, Alex Cora advocated for it. The fans wanted it publicly. Breslow was like, Alex Bregman, why would we sign a player like that? He's the best player on the team right now. We're 40 games in. 30. Is it 40? 39. 39 games
39,
in.
Yep.
He's the best player on the team by far. It's not even close. He's the second best player in the American League, tied with Bobby Witt Jr. So I get why I get why Raffy would say, well, I'm the longest tenured. I'm the highest paid. I'm the only person that has a ring here. And now you're asking me to move off my position. If you're a team guy, you look at it and say, yeah, clearly he's the better player. And this makes the team better if I move off third base. Am I happy about it? No, but it's what's best for the team. And I have the longest term commitment to this team. I'm the one that's going to be here. So if this is what makes the team better, then so be it. That should have been the mindset. Obviously, we didn't get there. Yes, he's DHing, and ultimately, the numbers since that fucking rut that he was in to start the year have been really good. Like we're talking about like a 9-something OPS since he got out of that funk.
By the way, at no point did he not play DH. Like it's since the season started, he hasn't talked about one game once. But I'm saying
he's missed one game.
But he didn't miss it because he was like crying he was playing DH.
No.
He just missed
No.
Like he has just played DH. If Casas didn't get hurt, no one's talking about Rafael's displeasure with DHing.
Correct. And I don't even think he's displeasured with that. I think he's more just like, yeah, you told me to fuck. You told me to throw my glove in the trash, and now you want me to dig it out because you need help.
I viewed him as always being good with it. He just wanted to again call out the front office, which to what Jared said, he has done 2 off seasons in a row. Like
he has done that. He's doing it currently. Like that is an Alex Cora tactic. I don't know if you've picked that up, but Cora, when he don't like someone, he will call you by your job title. Like, you know, when him and Breggy weren't getting along, he would be like, yeah, the Astros third baseman. Like he wouldn't say Alex Bregman. He'll be like, yeah, the this, the that, and he'll call you by your job title. Devers is saying the GM. I would like to give him credit. I want to say he knows that his name is Craig Breslow.
Would be hilarious if he doesn't know it's Breslow. Or
he might know his name.
Find out.
But he is calling him out.
Do we think he knows Chaim and Craig are different people?
It's not 100%.
He knows now.
Maybe.
He knows now after Cora said, the guy that's not here promised you that.
Sure.
Anyways, But I think when you have, and I'm reading between the lines here, Breslow was the guy, according to Raffy, that went to him to ask him to play first base. It was not Alex Cora.
No.
Which would would that lead you to believe that Cora and Breslow might not be on the same page? Because I don't know. Like if Cora's saying, I'm not going to go talk to him. You like, he's my DH. I've been telling everyone that he's a DH. I don't want to look like an idiot to have to walk that back. I'm the one that publicly has to go out there and say, nope, because we had the conversation in spring training. Hey, if Bregman needs a day, is Raffy going to get some reps at third? Like, is he available? Like, is that part of the plan? He's going to mostly DH, but if Bregman needs a day, or you want to put Bregman at second, are you going to? Nope, he's just going to DH. He's just the DH. So Cora has to go out and publicly say he's just a DH. Now Breslow is like, hey, can you actually go ask him if he'll play first base? No, that if you want him to do that, you had me tell everyone that he's just a DH. You go talk to him. And obviously the better relationship clearly is between Cora and Devers versus Breslow and Devers. So
which we'd all prefer.
Yeah, I mean, Cora's got to see him all the time. Like, you would want them to be on a good standing, and clearly they are.
But it sounds like Devers told Breslow to beat it, geek. And he
might have punched him. Honestly, based on these answers, he might have just clocked him if he kept talking too much. I don't do the "I told you so" thing. It's just more, I saw this coming. I didn't think it would be this bad. I knew that Rafael Devers was not going to want to play first base, and he was going to be pissed off if they even asked him, and was going to group it into the third base thing, even though these are different ingredients and different situations. And now we're at this situation here where I hate that it's this public. I got to say. And Jerry, you alluded to it earlier, and I think this is a very important point. This situation has like 30 different branches to it. This is not as cut and dry as like, are you on Raffy's side? Are you on the team's side? Are you on Cora's side? There's so many pieces to what's going on right now. It's not as simple as he should just suck it up and play. I get why he's pissed off. I understand this is now to him another inconvenience in a season where he wished he just was playing the same position he's played his entire career. But that's not the case. You got a Gold Glove third baseman. That's clearly an MVP caliber player, and Alex Bregman. So you make the shift. Should they have maybe warned him a little bit that could have happened? Sure, but they didn't even think that would happen. So I don't think they were that confident that move was going to or that conversation was going to have to go down with Raffy. The thing
they
that
were
I
also
hate,
trying to trade for Arenado. Also, like
no,
that
exactly.
was going to happen regardless.
So something was going to go down either way, and I would argue that Raffy probably would have been aware because of all the murmurs of what was going on at third and shouldn't have been that shocked. But we're not going to bring that convo up again. The thing that kills me the most in this situation is that if you read the Devers quotes, he's treating it as if it's just Casas hitting like 060 and they're going to send him down to Worcester to get right and move Rafael Devers to first base. He blew his knee out, man. This is a different situation. They're not coming to you out of the blue like, you know what? We kind of changed our mind. We now want to give you your glove back out of the trash and you're going to play first base. That's not what's going on here. So I'm a little frustrated with Rafael Devers, a little frustrated with Craig Breslow. I'm not frustrated with Alex Cora. He's been honest from the jump. He's like, no, he's the DH. I'm not talking about, like, if you guys want to have that convo, have that convo. I'm not having that convo. But those are my initial thoughts. There's a million branches to this, but the biggest one being, it does kind of suck that Raffy answered these questions as if they came to him out of nowhere to be like, play first base. It's like, Casas is dead. That's why we want you to do it.
Thank you for defending our manager, because I feel like I've been getting crucified for not waving a banner from the mountains saying fire Alex Cora. Like, I think fans right now they want blood, and
easy one to point to. Yeah,
it's always
it's traditional. It's just, hey, things aren't going well, fire the manager. Is the manager the problem here, or maybe is it the fact that you had no fucking organizational depth at first base when your first baseman to start the year was a guy that is consistently not healthy? It's like, it was a freak accident what happened at first base. You can't foresee a knee exploding like that on a play like that, but historically not a healthy player, and also a guy that you tried to trade all offseason long anyway. Like, there should have been some sort of backup plan in case of emergency at first base. I think, if Raffy isn't going to accept playing at first base, we theorized that Christian Campbell moving to first base, Marcelo Meyer getting called up to play second base. I can tell you right now, that has not been discussed internally. I love the option. I love the idea of it. But right now, that's not an idea that's been thrown around internally with the Red Sox. And I mentioned the point earlier about Latin players. It's different. Like, it is different. Like, if this situation would have happened with Chad from California who went to Arizona State University, Good player. Good player. All the D3 baseball players in my mentions that were like, if this were me, I would stand up in front of my locker and I would say, I'm doing what's best for the team. It's about the name on the back. It is different for Latin players in terms of a respect situation. However, got a list of names for you. You tell me, Steve, what do they have in common? Miguel Cabrera, Jose Altuve, Albert Pujols, Fernando Tatis Jr., Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What's the common thread?
Latin players that have changed positions? Is that what we're going for here?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Yes, thank you very much. That is...
Cole's got one too.
When?
Some at latter stages, some at earlier stages.
No. They were all very earlier stages than Devers is right now.
Pujols was a ladder. Cabrera was a ladder. Altuve
no, he wasn't.
was
He went
a
from
ladder.
left to third.
I mean,
and then third to first. Like, they made him change twice, but
they
both
are
very
in various
early.
stages of their careers. Pujols was definitely later. Cabrera was definitely later. Altuve was very much later. Tatis, early years. Vladdy, early years. So it varies. But I think when you look at a guy like Tatis, like Vladdy, I get it. Like, whatever. Like, that's wear and tear on the body type thing. Tatis, platinum glove defender. You know, it's like...
Not at short, though.
Not at short, but like good enough. I mean, like the Padres are just like, we're just going to keep acquiring shortstops. So you need to move to the outfield where he is a platinum glove defender. But with Raffy, it's just like, man, I get that I get that he would feel betrayed by his team. Did they go back on their word? Was it someone who promised you something that isn't here anymore? So it's kind of like a technicality, but there's a new technicality because they promised you that you wouldn't be playing the field anymore. So the people here also lied to you. The people that are no longer here lied to you. I get why he's frustrated. I get why he's angry. But at the end of the day, on the other side of your tantrum, your reaction should be, fuck it. Like, I want to win. I signed here because I want to win. And if this is how we win, if this is, you know, like, they're not asking him to pitch. They're asking you to play first base.
I know, yeah. They want him to play every position. You got to remember that, Jared.
At the end of what you read in the translation, he said, I think I'll do a good job wherever they play me. He did say that.
Play first base, dude. I mean,
he may. I think, like, I very much view this as, like, all completely greenlit by Alex Cora. Like, I
don't think he had any problems with this at all.
Not at all. And I don't know that his hands are completely washed, even if he isn't behind this, because he was publicly angling for Bregman. He could have had Raffy in on that. And it sounds like he didn't, because he kept calling him a second baseman the whole time. Like, I don't blame Devers for feeling this way, because especially if he just thinks he's going back to DH last year, one thing I don't think he's getting enough credit for is he's like, I probably am not the best option at first, which I think a lot of us agree with. He's probably not going to be a sterling gold glove defensive first baseman. He's just a fat slugger, which we've all been like, yeah, that's a first baseman. Trust me, that's what people typecast me in Little League. Fat slugger is first base. That's Rafael Devers. Like, we all just assume he can do it because he fits the profile. DH is a difficult position. I don't blame him for being like, hey, I just kind of figured this shit out. Did you guys remember how I started the season? Like, I just figured this out. He also did say, if I do learn this, it's going to be on the fly. So everyone better be fucking cool with that. I think what he's saying about Breslow is true of himself, but in the inverse. Breslow says lies all the time to Raffy, kind of only. Like, I don't know that he's lying about anything else. Like, and Casas. He has lied to Casas. Raffy, when he was asked to be a DH, what did he say? Emphatically, no.
I play third.
I play third.
I play third.
Emphatically. They even asked him then, would you switch to first? He said no in that press conference. He said, no, I will not play first.
He'll let you know ahead of time.
Yeah, this isn't the first time he said no to playing first. I think if Cora asked him, if Cora asked him to pitch, he'd be like, how many innings do you need to skip? If he asked him to play first, he'd be like, go get my glove out of the trash and I'll be there. The way they also took him off third was like, he is the DH. Have you seen him field? We don't want him anywhere near the ball unless he's going to bat in his hands. They didn't handle any of that well, to the point where, why would I show any flexibility? Fuck you. I don't care that this is public. I don't see this as a long-term issue, because I believe Raffy will do whatever he's asked, because that's all he's done to this point. His words and his actions don't line up. He asked to DH. He's DH'd without a complaint.
Pretty clearly, and this is kind of like with the DH situation, he's still an employee. He's an employee of a team that is already, paying him. They're the one. That's how that transaction
lot of money
goes.
The most
paying him
ever
a lot
in team
of money,
history.
And that's how that transaction typically goes, where it's like, hey, we're paying you. We're going to tell you what to do for the most part. The thing that I stick on a lot here is that I understand Rafael Devers is upset, and there just shouldn't have been this much of a kind of a lashing out reaction, because he skips the media availability a couple of times, understands this is a big topic, understands, and he can probably put the pieces together that he would be one of the top options for this position. Corner infield spot, which he was trying to keep and wanted to play. So that's another thing. If you're Breslow, you're probably thinking this might not be the craziest thing to ask him. Breslow's also not a moron. Like, he knows that that's not going to be a fun conversation. He's aware that he's going to somebody that's probably already pissed off at him, and pretty recently pissed off at him. If this injury happens later in the year, Raffy might treat it a little bit differently. If there's like a month left, they got a 2-game lead in the division. I feel like he's so locked in and trying to continue to get more locked in at DH that it's like, oh God, man, what the hell? That he's almost too blind to the fact that these things aren't created equal. But one of the biggest things that I harp on here is that it's never good if, and we can put the face of the team thing to side, whatever. I know we've had the convo of like, he's not face of the team. He is one of your faces of the team. He's one of your best players. If you're going to be successful, you need Rafael Devers to have a big season. You don't want that guy publicly saying, I think the GM sucks at his job. Like at face value, that's bad. And that's not something you want. And not only did he say it once, there were like 5 quotes where he's like, this guy's a moron, basically. And Davison, credit to him, he had to just keep saying that, even though he's a team employee as well. You see MLB Network's reaction. I think that tells you everything you need to know, that this doesn't happen. Like, the stars on teams never come out and are this blunt about how they feel about this situation. They went back to Amsinger, and they had a former player that I think it was Harold Reynolds and somebody else on there. It might have been Peavy. And they're all like, whoa, they read the quotes and were just genuinely stunned. We're not as stunned because we've kind of been in the mix with all of this and seen all this stuff. But when you get that reaction from a national network, it's like, yeah, this stuff is not common, and it's not great now that this team might be ready to go. It kind of keeps feeling like they're ready to get going on a run, and they keep getting pulled back to the pack. And this is now an off-field thing that might kind of pull them back to the pack, which sucks.
How often are the GM and coach saying directly contradictory things too, though? Even before Raffy spoke.
Yeah, more than you typically ever see.
But the first Craig, even if they're not like directly clashing, the first Craig quotes were like, we haven't asked him yet. Like, I'm for sure going to ask him. Cora, every time his ass is like, you could put a gun to my head. I will not ask this guy to play first. Every time. Like, those are very. Why would Raffy listen to the GM over his manager? If his manager's telling me, hey, you don't want me playing first, why would I listen to this guy?
Also, like, put yourself in the mindset of Raffy. It's kind of like you have your dad.
You've got divorced parents.
You have divorced parents, you have your dad, and then like there's all like he'll have like a new girlfriend. Like, this is the third GM of Raffy's career in the Red Sox. He's only had one manager because he doesn't count Ron Renicky. I remember.
No idea who that is.
I was there.
I forget about Renicky all the time too.
I was sitting there when Rafael Devers learned that Ron Renicky was going to be his manager. It was we were at winter weekend, and I was sitting at like a poker table. It was me. To my right was JD, and then to JD's right was Raffy. And JD was like, "Who do you think's gonna be the next manager? I was like, oh, it's gonna be Renicky. And then Raffy was like said in Spanish, he's like, who did he say? He's like Renicky, and he goes, oh,
okay.
Like he is just like, I'm not acknowledging that that's a thing. Like he knew
that's
Cora
a
was
fake name.
coming
That's
back.
not a real person.
Yeah. I mean, he had been there. Like he was already in the building. But he's like, so he only
Cora
acknowledges Alex
cool.
Cora as his manager. Yeah.
Very funny.
So I think like it's almost like correct to like, if you look at historically how the Red Sox have operated at that position, fucking president of baseball operations, general manager, chief baseball officer, whatever job title you want to call it. It's the same job. It's like a 3-year shelf life. And Raffy's looking at it as, I don't fucking respect this guy, and he's going to be gone in a year or two. Like if we're 500 and we keep losing, I know that I signed for 11 years. I'm going to be here. You're not going to be here the whole time. So why do I give a fuck what you have to say or what you think about this situation? I don't. Like, I'm going to outlive you. I know that.
I mean,
you've signed one guy and he plays my position. I fucking hate this guy. Like, why would I like this guy?
I mean, he's the only dude. I never expected we would get to this point with Rafael Devers. I think that's another important part of this. Like through the course of Section 10, this is just the cute, funny kid, call him 12 years old, Raffy Big Scoops. MLB's still tweeting out the nickname. That nickname's lasted forever, as it should. It's a great one, but it's always been fun. It's always been joyous. I never thought we would get to this point where it's like this guy literally wants to fight the GM. I think if he had a chance, like he would hit Breslow in the face. That's not even a joke.
He may have already done that.
He may have already.
Doors.
I know I joked about it, but like that could have already happened. But it's a very important, and everyone listening knows this, but sometimes we look at GM as like, a very important part and an important piece to the structure of your organization. When you're the Red Sox, like you alluded to, Jerry, that has been a, sliding door constantly where someone's in that position every 4th year, basically. Breslow's not paying Rafael Devers, and he knows where the checks are coming from. He knows it's not coming from the guy that in Raffy's eyes is knocking on his door every other day saying, change your position, even though it's literally only been twice. And it's been like for good reason both times. He's going to clump those together and think, I fucking hate this guy, and I'm going to let everybody know it. I'm just, again, stunned that we've gotten to this point. I understand the ingredients are there, and if you mix them together, it could explode. I just didn't think it would happen with the joyous boy of Rafael Devers, but clearly he's been pissed off and he's willing to say it.
His 2 older brothers were sent to foster homes, more or less.
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to be the youngest brother, and one of them, but
one of them is a cold plunge influencer at the moment. But yeah, the other one is in San Diego.
But yeah, like when that like if Devers were still 3rd on the pecking order, no one would like. The quote, Xander would just step in front of him and do all the talking. Like the second he lost that, and he was the guy who had to start talking, he's been furious. Every GM
Xander would
is
just play
enemy.
first base. Xander would just play first. He'd be like, call Meyer up. I'll just play.
To be fair, as much everyone knows how big of a Xander guy is, they asked him multiple times to move positions, and he was like, I am the shortstop. And
but it never got this public. I think it's that the public nature of this is kind of unseen. Being a Red Sox
Xander
fan.
would say it publicly, but he just knew how to massage it.
Yeah, I'm just saying to this. I mean, like Raffy was speaking like he had a knife. Like he was really talking with like some real anger that I don't think we've seen from any player before. Of course, Poppy's gotten pissed off before. We've seen some quotes in articles, but you typically don't have like the in clubhouse availability where, and unfortunately, it's through Davis, and I get it. He doesn't want to. People are going to kill me. He doesn't want to speak. It's fine. It's okay. He doesn't want to speak English. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. But that it would have been like Jerry translated. My goodness. Imagine if like Raffy was actually saying all of these things in English instead of it going to a translator.
Not fear like David Ortiz was like smashing things with a bat.
No, I know. Raffy's saying it pretty chill. He is saying it chill, but he's saying some like dagger quotes.
For sure. And they like that's why I think he's still open to the idea. The second Cora asks him, he just really wants everyone to know, like, I do not like Craig Breslow. Like he cannot be more clear about his disdain for that guy. And I kind of understand it on the Cora level where he's like, this is my guy. By the way, this is the guy who also was like the only person campaigning to be the GM when Heim got fired. The Red Sox were trying to bring in people far and wide, and everyone was like, no, we just saw what you did to Heim. Why would we want that? Cora was like, I'll take that. no problem. And then the Red Sox were like, that's cute. You're the coach. You're not GM. We're not doing what the Celtics just did. We're all set. Since that point, Cora has openly clashed, but more like Xander, more statesmanly with Craig, to the point where it goes kind of unnoticed. I mean, the biggest story, and Castillo and McAdam will tell you time and time again, like, we weren't joking about the Bregman thing. Like, the front office was not in on that idea at all. They didn't want to pay him what he was asking for at the time. They found a middle ground, but that never stopped Cora every time he spoke this winter from being like, think we should sign Bregman. It's a miracle he's still out there. Don't really care about he'll play second, even though they much preferred Campbell at second than Devers at third. Everyone in the organization was in agreement with that. So it has been interesting. And this situation has me thinking, like, why the fuck was it so important that Cora had to sign his extension in Colorado? If the team and you have agreed to it, do you really need to make errand boy run out on a flight to Colorado while you're getting your teeth kicked in by a bad team, by the way, and be like, oh, bring me my money today? Like, it is kind of like this power struggle, and Devers just wears it. If anything, I view him as like, he is probably loved in the clubhouse by his manager, who just keeps wearing all these bullets for him while everything he wants happens. It's kind of masterful.
I do think we acknowledged it when Cora signed the extension, but there almost felt like a level of desperation from the Red Sox front office to get that done, where it's like, if we don't have him, I don't know what we're going to do. And this gets back to the ownership. Well, both. But this gets back to the audience that wants to fire Cora. It's like, you never factor in the alternative ever. It's always just, let's just get rid of the guy because he's the manager and he sucks and bloody da. But they obviously wanted Cora here. Cora understands the flexibility. He understands the ground he's standing on at Fenway Park, and it's very stable. And he gets that the position that Craig Breslow in is not the same. I mean, Cora gets suspended. he gets suspended, and he's just immediately back. Like, one of the worst scandals we've had. Boom, job back. Don't even worry about it. Like, he understands where he stands within this organization. So he knows he can say to the media, that's my DH. He's not changing. And I also love, and again, it's a love-hate with Castillo. I don't actually hate him. Well, I do, but whatever. I love how Alex Cora answers Castillo's questions, because he kept asking him about it, and he's just looking at him like, he's my DH. Like, stop fucking asking me about this question. And we've acknowledged it on this podcast. This clearly was always going to be a Raffy and Breslow discussion. And it happened. I didn't think it would go the way that it went. I would also factor in, Jared, you mentioned some of the Latin players that have switched positions. I'm just trying to view some of the other players, even just within the division. And people won't like me saying it, but it's like, Aaron Judge would never do this. Like, he'd just be, yeah, sure, I'll play first base. Like, that sounds good. Team first guy. And even if he's pissed off, he would probably approach it like, you know what? Keeping that in-house. I appreciate you guys asking that. I get it. You got to do a job, but I'll play first. It's, we're trying to win ball games. But there's a difference. I can say that and also say that not all these players are created equal. Rafael Devers wants to be respected, feels like he's being disrespected, and because of that, is totally comfortable outing the GM multiple times publicly and making sure you know where he stands on the matter. So I don't really... It's just a weird thing, man. Again, there's a lot of branches. I'm not killing Raffy. There's some things I wish he would have done differently along this whole journey, basically since spring training, but the team's also fucked up a little bit. The blame pie is definitely cut in a couple different pieces here.
Yeah, there's like the
judge glazing. He is actively forced Giancarlo Stanton, who's begged to play outfield, into that DH role, and he's played Alex Verdugo.
Well, that was the
him.
Correct call. I mean, he can't even
not to play
walk.
Verdugo over him.
No, yeah, that's not comparable.
But he's actively harmed himself playing outfield. Like, he's been hurt for 3 years now because he refuses to not play outfield. He would obviously also be better as their DH too.
Who?
Or first baseman?
Judge.
No, I disagree.
God. Let's hope
he's like a fucking 10 WAR player.
To him. No shit. I think he'd be a higher WAR player if he played just DH. If he was just hitting.
Silly. That's silly and incorrect.
His range is not like, he's not a center fielder, and he demands to play center field. He's like Jeter.
He's not playing. How much center is he playing this year?
Field. This year, I'm talking about last year. Last year, he was like, bring in Verdugo so I can only play center. That's why he did that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think the irony of this being Rafael Devers hating Breslow and then still loving his manager is that his manager was the one that wanted Bregman here, which started this in the first place.
You know, that began the whole thing. It wasn't Breslow's idea to move him off at third base.
No.
That's why I said Cora could have easily let him in on this. Like, hey, you're probably going to DH, but you're not going to hear it from me. But he didn't do that. He wanted Breslow to do it. Like Cora also hates Breslow. That's what I'm getting from all
I
this.
think it's pretty clear, right? Like, I think anyone with a brain can put the pieces together and be like, these guys don't like each other, specifically Cora not liking Breslow.
Right. And to be fair, Breslow didn't hire him either. Like, he inherited him. So I don't know that it is just a one-way street.
And this is another tough part too. Like, Craig Breslow has made some very important moves for the present and future of this organization.
Well, Breslow extended him.
Exactly.
That's why I said who did it, because I don't know that it was his call. I think that was from ownership. Like, hey,
could have been.
We could not be having worse headlines coming out of this All-Star game. Could we just do this? That'll make people happy. And they were right. People were immediately happy.
Yeah, that made us happy. And he's obviously, the crochet extension is a huge thing too. So it's tough because then Breslow's now going to be painted as a moron. And it's like, I didn't want to move you off a third. Your manager did. He's your best buddy. So naturally, you're going to listen to him more than me. I'm just coming to you saying that we think this is the most logical decision to move you to a position that we think you can play because you played third base and our first baseman's knee blew out. Like, I don't think it was that unfair of Breslow to go to Raffy and have this conversation. But Raffy's clearly still pissed off about the third base stuff and is tying that probably more to Breslow because he doesn't know him or like him. Whereas Cora, he respects. So it's like, you know what? Fine. You want me to be DH? That's okay. Because we have way more of a friendship and have known each other for longer. So I get it from that perspective. But at the same time, it's like Breslow asking him to play first, I don't think is a crazy thing. Now, you can also say that they should have more depth at first base. Whatever. This is the situation we're in right now.
No, I don't. You can have depth at every single position. The people who are like, you should have an all-star ready to play.
You can't just have somebody at every spot. And honestly, Romy's been perfectly fine there, and then he got hurt. So it's like, yeah.
His defense has been bad, but so is Casas's. I would like to know what Craig's plan was if he had traded Casas like he wanted to. Like, would he have had the conversation then?
Probably Raffy at first, right?
That's what I would assume.
Now that probably makes the most sense.
It's probably Meyer or Campbell or somebody at the Vaughn at third. You know what I mean? Somebody would be playing that position, and Raffy would be at first, and Yoshida would be DHing. And who knows if Bregman's here? Maybe if the Pavetta thing happens, he still does it, but that's neither here nor there. What I think is strange, because I don't think you're wrong, Steve. I don't think it is crazy. We've been saying it on the show, like, put Raffy at first. Like, a lot of people have this thought. It's not just Craig on an island who wants Raffy at first. I think it's weird for Craig and Cora to not, because to what Jared said about after last year's press conference, when he was like, what does GM boy even do in the offseason? It's weird to not be aligned for your they're aligned. I think none of this happens. He's just like, well, if you guys both think this way, all right, yeah, I'll do it.
And then it's just announced he's playing first, and we don't get any quotes, and it's fine.
Yeah, but Cora being so like, nope, that's my DH. Raffy would be going against his coach if he was like, put me at first. Like, how dare he hold me back? Like, that would look weird too.
At face value, it is. That's probably something that should be getting more attention. I think Raffy's getting a lot of hate for how he's handling this. Also, in this area, that was always going to happen. Like in Boston, of course, there's going to be a bunch of people like, oh, this guy, what a bitch. Like, he's not going to play first. Like, you're getting paid $30 million. It's way deeper than just saying that. Like, you can be upset and want Raffy to play that position, and he can be upset, and I got to say, should still probably play that position. But it's okay for him to be angry. I think that is one of the pieces here that should probably be getting more attention, is that your manager and GM seemingly hate each other and are on different pages, and that's not good for the growth. Forget the Raffy situation. There's going to be so many things that come up over the season that you're going to need those guys and want those guys to be on the same page. And if they're not, it's way bigger than just this. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg, if that's the case.
I don't think Cora and Breslow hate each other.
Hate strong. But clearly they are not seeing eye to eye on this situation. And Cora's,
I don't think
Cora has any problem with Raffy calling him out like this. He probably doesn't love it. I mean, because it's more of a shit show on his front deck. Like that's the tough part with this too.
Why
is
the
that
GM
Cora
trying to play manager? Why is the GM trying to do his job? Because Cora couldn't be more clear. Like, I don't want him at first. So why is Breslow trying to overstep what he's saying? Because even baseball,
that's another part of this. Like the baseball side of it, I do think Raffy should just stay at DH. I don't even want him playing first base.
No, you didn't want him at first.
That's a whole nother discussion.
Last week.
But like, I would rather he stay at DH. So I do agree with Cora in that regard, even though I think half of him saying that is to prevent from the shit show that is, having the conversation with Raffy again about changing positions. But it's funny that Raffy has that quote there of like, GM should just do his job and get someone at first, because even though that is kind of aggressive, I do think they should just get someone to play first base. And I don't think that's like a bad decision. I actually think that would make a lot of sense for this team. Understandable, you then got to start tying in where does Yoshida fit and all that, and Roman and everything. I get it, but it's not a crazy baseball thing to go out and get somebody. It's more just pretty crazy for this to all be happening so publicly. And you have this diagram of manager not in a great standing with the GM over this, player hates the GM over this. Like, this is very rare for this to all be going down at the same time.
It is rare. It's very fun. Like, I find all of this very funny, because I do think the second Cora was just like, hey, do you want to play first? He'd be like, you should have asked sooner, brother. Can't wait. Can't wait to go flash the leather.
I bet he's going to ask him on the flight. He's going to ask him on the flight to Kansas City, and he's going to be playing first. And it's game one. Like, yeah, dude, where's my glove?
To Cora's credit, and I don't know if he does this to like help lionize himself or whatever, but when someone asked after the Devers spring training press conference, like when he was like, I play third, I will not DH. Like, oh, you're going to ask Ortiz for help. And he's like, I'll kill you where you stand if you ask me if I need help again. Like, I think this is another situation when Cora's just like, I can get him to first. I don't want him at first right now. Yeah. Maybe Craig should do his job. Like, that's where it's just like, yeah, Craig shouldn't have overstepped. Those two should have been more aligned. If Cora was like, no, and this is very Moneyball, like, put Hattie at first. Like, we're going to have no first baseman. Toro and Romeo get DFA'd. And it's just going to be like, go ahead, AC. Who are you going to play at first? I'd love to see it.
Alex Cora is very aware. We've said it before in this program. He's very aware of everything he says publicly. He does not say stuff like by accident or just like, oh, whoops, I hate that quote slipped. Like, you look at some of the other coaches around here and there's maybe some things that get out there and you're like, what the fuck was that? And they might want it back. I don't think Cora has ever like left a presser and been like, damn, I wish I didn't say that. To your point, Coley, that DH line, I don't think it's just to let the media know how he feels about Rafael Devers. So I think that's very clearly a look. I am also publicly saying it would be a dumb idea to tell him to go to first base. So I will now leave it in your hands. And clearly Breslow was like, well, it doesn't matter, because I think he should be the first baseman. And now this is a shit show. It really is. And now Cora is going to have to deal with some of the after effects of this, and the players too. That's another thing in this clubhouse that I'm sure not all the players love this shit. Like, they don't want this going on when the team's trying to get out of 500 land. Now you got this happening, and I stepped down on oh, this will blow over. Because, like, yes, by the nature of baseball, things blow over. It's the longest season of any professional sport. So much time goes by that I would hope something's still not lingering in September that happened in May. But people don't forget. People don't forget what happened. Like, Raffy's going to be pissed about this for a while. He can, like, dim it down and just, like, forget about it. But he still hates Breslow. Like, that's not really going to change that much.
To be fair to him, he definitely wasn't. Do we agree he didn't get asked after the game today, right?
I can't imagine. I would have to think this happened. The timeline is probably a couple days ago. It's probably around. It's probably right at. Well, you think it's right after Casas, or they gave it a couple days, maybe till Monday?
I think they probably gave it 2 days. Like, they probably gave it 2 days after the Casas thing, because I don't think you want to, like, while he's still laying on the field, be like, "Hey, Devers, what do you think, pal?" So I'm thinking like yesterday, the absolute latest.
I bet it was Monday. I bet it was Monday, because they're off on Monday. I wouldn't be stunned unless it's like, don't talk to a player on the off day. But I wouldn't be stunned if it happened on Monday. And then, they're just trying to figure out how he's going to handle it. And then he's saying that he doesn't want to talk to the media about it because he's probably mega pissed off about what's going on. And then now, I don't think it was an accident that he addressed the media on a getaway day. Like, I'm basically positive that he chose to do it now so that they're going on the road and maybe it dies down a little bit. But either way, the situation is a mess right now.
But from where I'm sitting, if even if it were yesterday, 2 for 3, 2 RBI, home run, like, it hasn't affected his play or the team's play whenever this happened.
Let's be real. Regardless of when it happened, it didn't affect him because he was great in the finale. So
Right.
Like, very clearly, Raffy can put this to the side, which is an important part of this, by the way, because there is an alternate universe where he's hitting like 180 right now. And this is like absolutely terrible. And he doesn't want to talk to the media. And it's a real, real problem. We're talking about moving a guy to first base. It's probably not going to be great at first base. and I'm sure they'll find a solution. And big picture wise, I don't think it'll be a huge issue. But again, like, Raffy's not going to forget this. He's very upset. The fact that I always think when players make things public, they couldn't be more upset at you. Like, if they're okay with making it this common that everyone knows that now all the pops in New England that read the newspaper tomorrow and they're going to did you see what Rafael Devers said? The fact that he's totally fine with them all knowing and everybody knowing and us having these discussions as openly as we are and Jerry getting the exact translation means that he is as upset as he could possibly be at Craig Breslow and wants everyone to know it. That's not good for the team now or the future. But again, things do blow over technically, but it's like these ingredients suck when you're trying to be a team that finally wins the division again and goes on to do big things. You don't want this going on during the season.
I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Love those.
And the actual answer might be neither. It might be neither, but you have to pick one. Which one is more likely? Don't answer the question. You're going to hit a read. Think about it.
Oh, a little tease.
You know how the fucking game works, dude. Just ask the question.
I was doing a little teasy deals. I'm
going to ask a question.
Yeah.
You guys are going to think about it. Don't answer it right now.
This is like a back after this. I like this. This is
right
very
back
professional.
This.
But every time he asks one of these questions that has no answer, it's always into a read and let us think about it. Like, we know the game. If T were here, yeah, you'd have to explain it. But we've heard the show.
Oh, he would 100% cut you off. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. I want you to think about it. Don't answer it. We're going to hit a read.
Hitting a read.
And on the other side of that, I want you guys to answer the question.
Okay, so we'll be back after this, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm going to ask you the question first.
Okay.
Yeah. And you... The
don't
answer might... Don't answer the question. Don't answer the question. The answer might be neither. But you got to pick one, as in like which one is more likely.
So it's a multiple choice. A, B, C, C, B, and neither.
Just A, B.
Okay.
Well, you just said
neither. The real answer could be neither, but you can't say neither.
Can't say neither, but it's A or B. Which one is more likely, you know?
Okay.
You can't say neither.
Because you could say like, hey, you know, like you may not believe in aliens, but if I'm like, hey, what's the likelihood that aliens come here? Like it's not 0.0%.
So
which
Coley
one is
can't
more
say
likely?
neither and then can't answer it before the read.
Don't answer. Yeah. After the read.
Those are two like huge no's. Like don't do either of those.
Don't. No. Ready for the question?
Oh yeah. I've never been more ready for a question in my life.
Well, I'm not going to say shit though, but I'm ready.
If you haven't tried Via yet, you're seriously missing out. Whether you need to unwind, refocus, or just pretend you have your life together, Via is here to enhance your everyday. And let's be honest, probably your night too. 500,000 customers can't be wrong. Via is changing the game in natural wellness, combining high-quality hemp-derived ingredients with powerful cannabinoids to create real effect-driven results, not just fancy packaging and empty promises. You want to sleep better? More focus? A little boost in the bedroom? Or maybe you just need to chill out because your stress levels are currently at screaming into the void status. Whatever you need, Via has a solution for you. And here's the best part. Via lets you customize your experience. Whether you're looking for daily wellness, laser focus, or deep relaxation, aka the kind of chill that makes you one with your couch, you know what I'm talking about. Via has it with products ranging from 0 to high cannabinoid levels. They've got options for everyone. We're talking award-winning effect-forward gummies to calming drops, all made with organic lab-tested hemp from trusted, independent American farms. None of that mystery gas station nonsense. And you don't have to jump through hoops or get some weird doctor's note. Via legally ships nationwide discreetly because let's be real, your nosy neighbors don't need to know your business. No medical card required, no sketchy parking lot meetups. Just straight to your door with a worry-free guarantee. Not sure where to start? No worries. Via has a product finder quiz that will hook you up with the perfect match in less than 60 seconds, which, let's be honest, is less time than it takes to decide what to watch on Netflix. So if you're 21 plus, treat yourself to 15% off and get a free gift with your first order using the promo code SECTION10 at viahemp.com. Plus, enjoy free shipping on orders over $100. That is via VIIA hemp, HEMP.com, promo code SECTION10. That's 10. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys a question. It's one or the other. What's the most likely, in your opinion, right now?
You can't say neither.
You can't say neither. You got to pick A or B. You ready? Okay. What's more likely? Rafael Devers agrees to and does play first base, or Rafael Devers is traded.
Oh, agrees to play first base immediately. Among those two, agrees to play first base.
I don't think Breslow has the facilities to trade Rafael Devers, even if there were
He's
team
been
interested,
emasculated. That might be the move to get.
I don't
his
think he
manager
has.
back.
I don't think he would call
approval.
the team. He would call Henry to be like, "We're trading Devers," and his phone would explode and kill him in the office.
He would
Like,
just they would kill him immediately. I think
he wouldn't be allowed to trade him. So it's Devers plays first.
I thought the question was going to be, will he play? It's just as simple as like, will he play first, or is he going to stay as DH? Honestly, which is also fair. And I'd probably lean DH because that's a fair one. Where it's like, is he going to now part two say he hates the idea and then do it? Is that what's going to happen? Because a lot of people are. I got to say, there's a lot of people that just assume that's what's going to happen. I wouldn't be so certain that's how this is going to end up.
I think if I need to know if Cora is going to ask him to or not. I think if Cora asks him to, he'll fish his glove out of the dumpster and get to working at first. If he doesn't, he will be DHing forever. Because I also like this thought has not crossed Rafael Devers' mind. I'm not trying to give him credit he hasn't earned. Him accepting first is not a this year's solution. Like that would be he'd be playing first for a while. For a couple of years. So they would be effectively telling Casas, like, you're done no matter how healthy you get. So that is a weird position for like Cora and Devers to just be like, yeah, play first. We love that. He's going to be first forever.
And I think you just alluded to it, but like Rafael Devers is probably thinking, I think this is what you just said, that this is only about this year, right? Like he's probably of the headspace of like, this is only asking me to play first while Tristan Casas is hurt. I don't know if he thinks they're asking him to play first for multiple years, honestly.
No, I think the team would end up asking him. I think he's viewing it like what you just said. Like, why the fuck am I doing this for a year when you're just going to ask me to come back to DH next year?
I almost thought it in the flip, like where it's like, okay, we're asking him. Does he think they're asking him just to cover while Casas is hurt with the assumption, which is a big assumption, that Tristan Casas would be the first baseman once he's healthy?
Yes.
Like is Raffy's probably looking at it like a temporary thing.
Yes.
Which would make him even more upset, to your point, because then he'd just have to go back to doing what he's doing right now. He's like, well, why can't I just keep doing right now what I do right now? I like hitting. So I get it from that angle. It is tough the way that Rafael Devers is treating this as a position. I get it. It's an adjustment period. DH is different. I'm not going to say that it's just the same as hitting. But in nature, you are doing like half the job and still getting full-time pay. So it's not like they haven't put him in a position that he can't succeed in. Like this is a spot that he can be very successful at. So it's not like they were, if it was an immediate transition to first base, I think that's a different conversation, because it's like, you expected me to be great at first. I have to learn a whole new position. It's like, that's a position. Like DH isn't really, DH is a role. I don't know if it's a position necessarily.
I hate that as like the team who has had the best DHs in the sport. Like we of all teams should respect the DH.
This isn't even a non-respect thing. I think it's more a workload thing, like a time on the clock kind of thing.
It is, but like we all viewed Hanley as like, oh, this guy is perfect to DH, and he sucked at it. Like the worst year of his career, honestly.
You never know.
So, like it is more of a thoughtful position than it looks. Like, especially younger, it's just like, oh, that guy just slugs and then sits down. That's sick. Like, and Ortiz was largely able to do that. We've heard plenty of Ortiz stories where he wasn't like JD, like watching the iPad in between his at bats. He was on the phone with the home country, just being like, what are you guys up to? No, it's my turn. Let me go slug a dinger and be right back. So I
think Poppy knew exactly how much time he had in between at bats.
For sure. Yeah. He hated batting around in an inning. He was like, again, you need me. Oh, this is nonsense. But I do think he views this as like I'm just going to be back here next year. And I think the team probably more views it like, no, you're our first baseman henceforth.
And then they would know, based on probably this brief history here, this brief example of him going from third to DH, that if they can just nudge him into first and it doesn't go terribly, then it's like, that's an easier conversation to have next year. It's like, look, you did it and you liked it, right? It's like telling a kid, like, that was a good treat. And it's like the fat free. It's like, that tasted the same, right? Like, you enjoyed that. So that's basically what they're trying to do with him now. And it's clearly not working out the way they would have thought. I'm interested to see how this goes. And Coley, it was a good point last pod. You mentioned it. Like, they've had history now of doing this and just wasting games, and the season just goes and goes. And it's like, these are the games you need. This division is going to be tight. It's probably going to take like 86, 87 wins maybe to win the AL East for the first time. And God knows how long that's been. I think since like one of the last Yankee World Series, might have been like 2000, the last time that 87 wins got you the AL East. So you don't want to throw these games away. These games matter a lot. And to be dilly-dallying and having beef going on behind closed doors is like the last thing you need when you want to get, back into first place. For the first time since 2021, by the way, I was looking that up last night. The last day that they were in first place was the trade deadline of 2021. So it's been a long time in terms of like sole possession of first.
Yeah. I forgot Tampa made the playoffs that year. That's why I was like,
you're like, who the hell won the division? Yeah, no, Tampa actually ended up winning the division by like 8 games, even though the Sox had the lead in late July.
Well, I just remember the battle with the Yankees basically for home field, and that made it feel like a first place battle.
It did. No, honestly, I had to do, it was like revisionist history. Like, wait, oh, right. Yeah. Tampa won the AL East. That is correct. That's how that went. But
to defend Breslow ever so slightly about why now isn't the great time to go be a GM. Look at what we just did. And I think Ian Kundle or Chris made this point, but like, look at the swindling we did of the Brewers because they were so desperate for a pitcher. They gave up like basically a first round pick and a guy who hits a triple every time he comes up for the Greenville Drive, wherever the fuck Io Ferry is right now. Like, they had to give up those 2 demons and their 5th round pick from last year. That was the player to be named later. That's what they had to give up just to get Quinn Priester, who we didn't even want to start despite needing starts at the beginning of the year. That's what we were able to get. Imagine all the treasures we have. Craig calling teams, which also, by the way, there aren't a lot of teams out of it right now. Like, there's in the AL, it's obviously the White Sox. The Orioles will never think they're out of it, and they shouldn't, but they're the next closest team to the White Sox. And then in the National League, what we're going to call the Rockies, they have 6 wins. They don't have anything that's going to help you if you want to be good. Like, there's no one to call right now. And even if there were, you'd have to pay $2 for a 50-cent player. Like, I'm all set. That's why it's like, yeah, I'd rather bring up Vaughn. I'd rather let Abraham Toro play than do that.
Yeah, and Stats had a good tweet about them having something like how many first basemen? It was a shitload of first basemen in the last couple of seasons, and only 3 of them are like plus in defensive run saves. So this isn't some great defensive position in Red Sox history. It's like you pretty consistently have guys there that, yeah, he can catch the ball. He's not always going to catch it. He can scoop a couple too, but he's going to hit like 30, 40 homers for us. So I do get it. Like, the logic makes sense for why you want Rafael Devers there, but you can still, I don't know. I just don't like feeling like I'm tiptoeing on both sides. Again, there's just so many layers to this where it's like, if you have Romy there and Toro there, you should be fine. If you can get somebody that's a little cheaper than you're talking about, Coley, then yeah, that's good too. But is that player going to be that much better than Romy and Toro? Like, I don't know if the difference is going to be worth giving up something when you already have those guys in house.
You might be able to get like a Luis Ariz just because he's an expiring who the Padres like actively shop in the offseason. I know right now they're 23-13, so they're probably not super interested in doing something like that, but that's like a maybe. Maybe the Brewers would want someone more close to Major League. Or you just call the Brewers back and see if Rhys Hoskins, who I don't think's played first since he broke his leg, Jared, I feel like you'd know better than me. He's like largely just DH'd, but has played first in his life as opposed to the guy we're currently asking to do it. His contract also expires at the end of the year. Maybe that's a team that somehow sees more value than we do, and Cedar Rafael, I should say, and would be more open to a trade like that as opposed to like if we call asking for mediocre first baseman, we're gonna get a lot of give me Meyer, give me like someone.
And we have mediocre first baseman. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I'd rather have the guys we already have. I'd rather Grandal play first. Like I'd rather any of that than trading for a first baseman who we know is probably going to stink.
Yeah, no, I frequently talk about how we can't act like we know what's going on behind closed doors because there's so many layers to a baseball season. And I try to read between the lines with the information that we are made aware of. The fact that likely Craig Breslow had the conversation with Raffy within the last couple of days could lead you to believe that the second that Casas went down, he was on the phones. And he's like, all right, let's see who we're going to bring in here. Can we get a deal? Can we bring Dom back? Whatever. And then maybe if some days went by and he realized the price was crazy, then he has the combo with Rafael Devers and goes over Cora and all of that. That's a highly likely scenario for what actually went down. But I can't think he thought that this was the result, honestly.
No, definitely not. But I'm sure some of these other scumbag GMs, while Casas was on the ground, was texting Craig like,
"Oh, probably,
like,
yeah. I would like everything you have for my scrub first baseman." That's probably what happened.
Like whatever the allegedly agreed upon package for Arenado was, if Craig just called back and was just like, "Hey, want to run that back?" They're Mozeliak and Heim have you on speaker. They're laughing you off the phone. Like there's no way you could get him for the same price. They were going to pay down a ton of his contract. Like if you wanted Arenado, you're definitely paying all of his contract right now, for sure.
They'd be screwed. That deal's there's no chance that happens.
I still don't hate it. I don't know what T said. People were against that idea. I also don't, if I'm being honest, fully understand the logic of why Christian Campbell can play first, but not Roman Anthony. I'm not advocating for Roman Anthony to play first. No, I'm also not advocating for Campbell. Like to me, Campbell continuing to get grounders because he does look a lot smoother at second. Like he had multiple hit to him today and he just puts it in his pocket. He's not like the quickest at turning two when he's on second, when Story or Bregman flips it to him. That I'm fine with because he at least throws it directly to whoever's playing first. He's not throwing it into the stands. That'll come. But like I don't love moving him to first just because he knows how to field grounders. Like Schwarber didn't, and he was fine. Like I also don't think it like sets Roman Anthony back. Like he'll never be able to go back to the outfield again. He's an athletic 20-year-old. He'll be fine if you stick him in left next year.
There is that assumption that if he plays first base, it's like the dumbest decision in the history of baseball if they have that happen. It's like, you've seen some of the people that have played first base, but I get that they don't want him to start his career that way. He's come up as an outfielder. I understand all of that. But Campbell, they've been telling you, talk about position. Like Campbell should have that quote. They want me to play every position. Fuck this. He should be the one saying it. And he's here for 8 years. So he could actually say it. He's going to outlast Breslow. So I don't know. There's a lot of layers to it. The Story thing's not crazy. I mean, again, I want him staying it short. But this is one of the rare scenarios, because you guys know I hate hypotheticals, where it's actually okay to throw stuff out there and it's not the craziest thing you've ever heard. Because clearly the team doesn't know what they're going to do. They don't know what the answer is. Like they're, running around trying to figure it out themselves. So this is a rare situation where you can kind of say what you want.
I don't think that they're as panicked as we probably think they are. Like I like from the outside,
panic's the wrong word.
From the outside, it probably looks like the room is on fire. But I think inside the room, I don't know that it's as clusterfucky as
I like clusterfucky. That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't think that it is as clusterfucky inside the room as it may appear on the outside, which I don't know. I mean, that's probably not a good thing. Like, I think if
I kind of want them to be figuring it out now. I don't know.
Yeah, if I'm on the Boston Red Sox, I'm probably sitting there thinking to myself, especially if I'm on like the newer side of things. Like if I'm a first year guy in the room, I'm probably like, is this normal? Like you guys always have like this much drama going on. Like
one of your best players always call the GM a dickhead. Is this like a week by week thing?
Yeah. Is this what you guys do? Like I had a West Coast player text me today and be like, the fuck's going on with you guys? Like, it's just like on the West Coast, we don't deal with this ever. Like, it's just not a West Coast thing. You don't
It's
ever
a West Coast thing, baby.
The Padres had such worse things happening this offseason than we're dealing with right now, and no one cared. Nobody cared.
No.
I guess, man. This is just I think it's magnified because of who it is, how long he's been here, what he's accomplished here, the money he's being paid. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of reasons why people care that Rafael Devers is very much disgruntled and very much not a fan of Craig Breslow.
Not only are people probably not panicking at that, I'm sure there's a small contingent that's like, it's not Casas. We don't give a fuck. Like, we're thrilled. Like, like, they're not happy he got hurt, but they're just happy he's not there.
I hate to say it. One of the first things I thought when he went down is some people being like, "Oh, thank God." Not the injury. This has nothing to do with a play.
No.
Just removing that piece from the clubhouse, from the whole situation. I think we'd be fools to think that wasn't going on, at least with some handful of people.
Some people, not even a plurality, certainly not everybody, but I'm sure there were a couple of people that were like, well, that's figured itself out. And they're like,
who the fuck's playing first?
Yeah, they're like, wait a second, Toro's sick.
There's not a single first baseman in the entire organization. Well,
I mean, that has like that. The other part, and we're not doing this because T's not here. What production do they have to make up?
They don't. I mean,
they don't.
No, that's a
like they're
point.
pretty much automatically a better team just because he's not on it.
Or at minimum the same. Like, they're not worse.
It becomes a ceiling thing, and that's what T would say. Like, it's a what's your ceiling,
sure.
and it's
1,000% agree.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think that was I think that was our Raffy talk.
What's
the
worst
idea
idea you've heard?
The worst idea?
Yeah, what's the worst idea? Because I've had multiple people tweet me. No, I think Rafael at first because he's as small.
Who the fuck said that?
Who's saying that? That's crazy.
People have had every idea
that is like. Well, I didn't see one person say that.
That's comfortably the worst.
That's the worst, but I can't put it on my depth chart because I haven't seen it. But that would be the worst. Yeah. No one who watches baseball would ever say that though. Like, it's like, hey, we have a gold glove, platinum glove defensive center fielder. Let's put him at first base where all he has to do is stand there and catch balls from the fucking infield.
And he's tiny too. So like,
I honestly
won't be able to do it.
I respect it. That's maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. You got to tip your cap to him.
That idea is so stupid.
It's
that
terrible.
Anyone who said it, I wouldn't believe that they were serious. Whereas with Massa, people are serious. Like, well, if you can't throw, then have him play first base. He's 5'5". Like, you're not going to have a fire hydrant at first base. Like, he's a
he can't apparently throw the ball. Like, how is he going to warm the infield up? Like,
it's also
Massa
true.
Can't throw the ball. And you see Rafael make that play basically to end the game today. It's like, let's put him at first. Let's put that guy that just ran 1,000,000 miles and slammed into the wall. First base. Don't move.
I know some people have suggested Willier at first, and it's like, it's not.
He looks like a first baseman, but
he looks like he could play the part. But
he's even short too.
Yeah, no, he's not terribly short, but
he's a weapon out there.
He's a Gold Glove outfielder. To play right field at Fenway Park for half the season and win a Gold Glove, like, you have to be a special defender to do that. I'm not taking him out of right field and I'm not messing with the dude that's probably the second best player on the team.
How tall is David Hamilton? It says 6 feet. I don't know if I believe that.
No, that can't be true.
No.
They say 6 feet. You are not sniffing 6 feet.
No, he's probably like 5'10" and a half. What do they have Willier at?
We were at
6
Fenway. I'm not going to say what for, but we were at Fenway on the off day on Monday, and I was trying to kill some time, and I went in the team store. David Hamilton, just walking around.
Oh yeah, he was just in there. He was doing a TST. It was crazy. He's trying to compete with the TST, and I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. Get out of here.
I went up to him and I was like, they don't give you free shit. Like, you have to go buy it. He's like, yeah, that's what it is.
I gotta say, Jerry found an item in that team store that was a steal and a half. One of the best steals I've ever seen at any team store. And you know I'm the team store guy. Jerry found a deal and a half, and we will show you guys later. There's a little teaser. thing we did at Fenway is one of my favorite things we've ever done before. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But
shout out Mikey.
Shout out Mikey, just absolute goated legend, Michael Eamond. But yeah, Jerry found an item that is basically, we'll just call it a 1 of 1. It's definitely not a 1 of 1, but it was a 1 of 1.
No, it's a 1 of 1. I threw the rest of them away so no one could find it.
Bought them all, lit them on fire.
Yeah. Got rid of
You know what's, speaking of like the Raffy's been sitting in the dugout watching Alex Bregman, who's been awesome at hitting. He's been watching Alex Bregman largely play the same third base he's played his whole career. He has to be like, this is what, like
Same?
the range is.
I don't know about that.
He dropped a pop fly today. Like he's been making errors left and right. His range is better, but he also he also has not been good. Like it's been weird. He's been an awesome addition. Like I'm thrilled Alex Bregman's on the team.
Yes.
But his defense hasn't been like, if I'm Devers, I'm saying I'm not looking at him like blown away. Like I could do most of this.
No. Rafael Devers is looking at him as I'm better than this guy at third base.
That's what I mean. That's why it's been very funny. He's just like, I at least could have done that. Like, and he's made plays that he couldn't make big time. But he has made some weird errors where it's just like, yeah, I easily could be doing this. Why did everyone say this is better than me?
I know. The lack of the alternative makes it hard to compare the two, where it's like we don't have them making the same play. There's been a lot of plays this year where I'm like, I would love to see what Raffy would have done with that. And maybe he makes the play. Again, you just don't know. Even in the series finale, one of my favorite plays of the year, and Lou's always on it. He called it out, where Bregman gets the ball, immediately throws to second base when it was first and second and no outs, knowing we're going to get this dickhead in a rundown. Like I don't have to worry about this guy that's like 5 feet away from me. Because if I tag him, I can't get anybody else out. He knows immediately to do that. Having that quick twitch and that quick knowledge of like, I know the situation. If I go here, I'm doing that. If I go there, I'm doing that. Bregman's first class when it comes to that stuff. So that double play was huge. Especially at that point of the game where it looks like it was going to be like a 2-0 final score. But it is funny, too, with Raffy. Raffy, like, lets you know he's sitting. He lets you know he's not playing in the field. He just sits there on, like, the cooler. And he's like, I'm not playing. This is what you wanted me to do. Like, I'm the designated hitter. Like,
he just holds a bat. He's like, this is my sword.
Laying down outside the dugout, just like he's got the dip coming out of his mouth. Like, this is what DHs do. I'm stupid. Like, I think he's kind of leaning into that. But
this
he just looks funny.
Weapon.
He looks funny.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
He's letting people know, like, this is all I do with me and bat. That's what I do. He's just funny. Everything he does is funny. I wanted to get a good shot of him in the Wally head today, but Connor Wong was in the way. Clear the way, brother. We got to have a good shot of everybody in the Wally head. You're not getting in front of that camera.
It's a big reason why I can't. That's why I can't be too worried. Like him having the game he had today. It's just like he's still going to post 30-100. That's what he does, Steve.
He is a 30-100 boss. That is what he does. Jerry, you get a good 30-100 guy.
You get a good boot. You get a good boot. That's also a very similar feeling.
Talking boots?
Yeah, we're talking brunt. Because choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. Durability.
Pass me some of them hors d'oeuvres, honey.
That derbinology.
If they felt good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Brunt Workwear finally ended that trade-off, designing boots that withstand the toughest job sites while feeling as comfortable as your favorite sneakers. The founder of this company, Eric, he grew up blue collar and started Brunt after his friends in the trades encouraged him to start a workwear brand that was really built for them. That's why all Brunt products are named after the guys he grew up with. That's pretty cool. These might be the most comfortable work boots on the planet, but they also deliver real performance on the job. Whether you need waterproof, safety toe, or soft toe, pull up or lace up, they've got you covered. They're so confident these boots will blow you away that they even let you try it on the job risk-free. And for a limited time, the listeners of Section 10 get $10 off at Brunt with the promo code Section 10 at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com/Section 10 and use the promo code Section 10, and you're all set. And after you buy, do us a favor when they ask you how you heard about Brunt. tell them it was from Section 10. We appreciate the guys at Brunt for sponsoring today's podcast. That's very nice of them. Red Sox win the series 2-1.
I gotta say, I was a little, when the Raffy news happened, I was like, oh man, that just kind of blew up the whole show. But I'm like, oh, that blew up the whole show. That's good. That series wasn't like, how much from that series was that crazy?
I think like
that play at first was fucking weird.
Yeah, things of note. Romy Gonzalez died. Bayo, the most disappointingly, like, not, I guess, horrible start. He didn't give up a run, but he didn't go deep and he walked 5. So it's like, how mad can you be about a start where a guy sucks, but he didn't give up any runs?
He kept walking, literally the worst hitter in baseball. He did it 3 times. I think he saw.
He didn't see any
Josh
strike.
Peters. He saw 12 pitches.
Yes.
He saw 12 pitches, all balls, and he was like nibbling. Like he was pitching him like he wasn't statistically the worst hitter in baseball this year. It was very strange. Very strange. I don't know why. I do know why, obviously, because I'm walking people. But if Cora left him in there, I think he gets out of the 5th. Like I think he gets that next batter out. It wasn't Simeon. I think he just gets him to pop out, and then that's it.
Yeah,
I get why he pulled him. I'm not saying it was a bad idea, but I do think he just would have been fine.
Sure,
he had done it every inning.
Other takeaways: Giolito looked awful.
Oh my god, throwing poop balls.
He was throwing absolute BP out there. He should have got an L screen. I love Lucas Giolito, though. That's the thing. I love him. Hope for the best for him. I get it. It was pouring out, but it was pouring out for Nate too, and he was shoving it right up our keisters. So I don't think you can use the weather excuse for Giolites.
You see some of the replays of where those pitches were. I'm like, God, man,
dick balls.
Like almost worse than BP. I almost thought he would have fooled him with how sloppy the pitches were, like just slow and just flat, had nothing on them. But credit to the Rangers, they were hitting it constantly. That's kind of what I expect the Rangers to look like, but I still can't believe they entered the series with the second fewest runs in baseball. Brett Boone is just changing the game as the offensive coordinator.
The offensive coordinator.
I get pissed anytime I see him because he was in the booth for the walk-off.
The what?
Boone was in the booth when Aaron Boone hit the walk-off. You remember that?
No.
That Brett Boone was in the booth. Do you remember that, Coley?
No, I mean, when you said the walk-off, I knew which one you meant, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, they were talking to me. He was like, oh, your brother coming up here. And I'm like, I don't like the feeling of this at all.
There was like no talking. They're like, we come back from commercial. And it was just gone. The game was over.
they showed you the ball like in the air, like Wake's ball in the air. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's get settled in. Okay, season's over. Let's go to bed.
Yeah, see you next year.
See you next year.
All right, here we go.
Doop.
What was I going to say?
Rafael,
we were talking Giolito. What else do you have? We had Giolito.
No, it's just takeaways from the series. Rafael rules. The first base spot and the 4-hole spot are cursed this year. Now, for a long time, they belonged to the same guy, so you couldn't tell which was which. But because Romy died at first, and since Campbell's been moved to 4th, it's been comfortably his worst production.
Even when he's not going good, I still expect
Willier was bad there too. Willier had his worst production hitting 4th.
It's a cursed spot in the lineup.
That's really going to bother me. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Could come up.
Hendricks looks good.
I cut you off there.
Yeah,
Hendricks was really good.
Did he go 2 today?
He did, right?
That I don't recall. He may have. It went.
He definitely was out
Slayton
there
for 1 1/3, and then
Hendricks on 2.
22 came in. Hendricks,
2 and all zeros. No hits, no runs, no nothing, no walks, no
best
Ks.
Outing as a member of the Sox, I think. That's probably
dude. He's got a 2.25 now. Impressive.
Damn, good for him. Good for him. Keep using him in situations that put him in a spot to succeed. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to need this guy, but it would be nice to have the guy. But yeah, I keep going back to the Giolito thing. That's going to stick with me until I see him go back out there again and pitch well. I want him to pitch well. I don't know what they're going to do if he doesn't pitch well. It's like Hunter Dobbins is already here. Walker Buehler's hurt. That doesn't make me feel good either. The Buehler injury. No. I don't think that's like a, skip a couple starts and see. Like, I think that like we're probably looking at like a month or whatever.
I mean, the Fitz injury, they have no idea. It could be.
They haven't spoken his name since
no,
then.
It could be 45
He's just
days.
giving thumbs up in the dugout. And it's like, can you pitch, by the way?
Yeah.
That is that was the last thing I had on the Devers thing. It's like the whole team, everyone's acting, or it's being portrayed like the world's on fire. Every time they cut to Crochet, he's doing like the young jock. It's going down. Like he's like, this isn't the White Sox. I'm having a blast.
I think he was doing like the Conan dance with the string. I'm like, Crochet is killing it. I think he's the best dugout guy in the league. Forget just on the Red Sox. I don't know who's better than him in baseball right now.
He's up there.
I was watching the Celtics suck shit. How did Houck look?
Pretty good, I guess. Like the sinker was still getting hit. Well. Yeah, the
Cora doesn't want you to get a win. He is going to pull you.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't awful. Whatever. It was enough.
Decent amount of traffic. 6 hits, couple walks.
I think I remember what I was going to say.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm not sure how this episode is going to be received by Red Sox fans because judging by all the replies on Twitter, there's no one agreeing with anyone. Like
everyone hates everyone right now. Big time.
It is a wildly split opinion out there in Red Sox Nation. Fans are pissed at Raffy. Fans are supporting Raffy. People are saying, Breslow's a dick. People are saying you can't be mad at the front office. Like we can't agree on anything. Like I don't know that our message is going to get out there and there's going to be a large group that's like, yes, like this is how I feel about this. Maybe they have, their own opinions and it's like, okay, like I could see both sides of the dialogue, the issue here, but whatever. But that's usually not how the internet works. Like usually it's like, I disagree. Fuck you, die. That is, I have a different opinion than you. Therefore, you should kill yourself.
You should not exist anymore because I'm right.
Yep. But yeah, I was very intrigued by the wide range of opinions on this topic. Yeah, a lot of folks. There doesn't seem to be a general consensus feeling on this.
Real quickly, I did want to mention a thing that I thought we would talk more about, but obviously it makes sense we're not because of the Raffy news. Game 2 was one of the bigger pain in the ass games the Red Sox have played in a long time, and the fact that they still won it, I think, means something. Obviously, Alex Bregman deserves a lot of credit for that. That play at first base with Romy Gonzalez, and this is a Tim Kirchin special. You never see that again in your life. Like, I don't think we've seen a play like that, maybe ever. And I still think it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Now, speaking to people on Twitter, Jerry, a lot of folks in the replies, or maybe a handful, that are like, oh, you're just like outing yourself as not knowing ball. Listen up, dickhead. If you knew that in that situation, when the first baseman drops the ball and the guy running doesn't touch first and then comes back and touches first, but the guy that dropped the ball touched first before him. But
Kevin Millar was a first baseman in the big leagues. He had no idea. Know the rule.
He had, and Millar, we can maybe mention Millar. Yeah, that's a separate.
He didn't know the rule. And
he
also,
was like, what does ERA mean as well? Like,
I know, he's like, what are
Millar did not know the rule. And Lou, who knows ball better than anyone that I know, he said that it was still a force play, not a tag play, which was not correct.
Yeah. So people that thought they knew what was going on there, you clearly had no idea. The biggest
Cora
issue
didn't know what was going on.
He had no idea. No one knew.
He's probably the smartest baseball person that I know. He was furious about it, came out, got the explanation, was like, oh, okay. So the second that Cora, once he got the explanation, was totally calm and went back to the dugout without any incident, I was like, okay, like, clearly the umpires got it correct. Because if Cora disagreed, or
if they
like
messed up, he would have got tossed probably.
Yeah, or he would have been way angrier. He just was like, all right, cool, see ya.
But the two parts of that are extremely frustrating and make no sense to me at all are that, okay, the guy needs the first baseman needs to appeal that the runner missed the base. Guess what the first baseman's doing? He's trying to catch the ball. He's not looking at like if he's stepping on the base. Also, what player is ever going to know to be, I am appealing that he did not touch first base. Like no one's going to know to do that or do that. That's going to have to come from the dugout. You know what comes from the dugout? The challenges. This is why we should have the challenge system to see that he didn't touch the base and therefore he's out because Romy picks the ball up. Also, if the umps are talking on the mics, why are they not explaining this? It makes no sense. And Coley, you would know this better than anybody. The NBA referees spend like an hour explaining what happens when they come back from challenges. You can't give me a simple explanation of one of the weirdest baseball plays any of us who watch a million games a year have never seen before. The call is confirmed. He's safe. Like, no, you need a paragraph after that of what happens. I haven't been that upset at a play in a long time. And then that screws them later where Campbell was definitely safe at home. CB Buckner's the worst. So he didn't see it and he called him out. And then Cora, it was funny seeing Cora do the shrug there. He's like, I don't know. I can't challenge it. Like we got screwed earlier. I don't know what to tell you. So Red Sox winning that game, I thought was very impressive. It's really all credit to Alex, but those two plays were very frustrating. And that's also around when the Celtics started blowing it. So I'm like, this is the worst night ever. But at least they won that game and then win the series, or else this would be a different tone right now.
Yeah, I could only see the texts that were coming in from you guys freaking out about the call. And I was just like, I can't deal with that right now.
You're doing the stream, right? You're streaming the game.
I was streaming the Celtics game. So I'm watching the score. I'm getting general idea of the play, but that's why I asked, like, how did Houck look? Because I can only ascertain so much from 42 yards and traffic. He was fine. But we'll take that, by the way, based on how he looked. Yeah. Two starts ago, we were like, this guy may never throw the ball forward again. And his last two starts, it's like, all right, we'll take that. That's way better. So that's great that he's even just looks fine. But then after seeing the play today, like there needs to be across all sports more common sense applied to reviews. Like if you're saying he needs to appeal, like challenge and appeal. If you had a thesaurus, they'd be right there. You know what I mean? Like for both, they would be there for the other. Like those definitely mean the same thing. That's the appeal. Dickhead, like that. Obviously,
like
that's
I'm
what
challenging something was wrong. I shouldn't have to verbally say appeal. Something was wrong. That's what the challenges are. What are we doing?
Like you have appeals for people you know left too early when tagging up. Every baseball player in the world knows how to do that. You know who never has to do that? The first baseman. No one ever tags from first, so it is not a first base thing.
Jaron might do that. I wouldn't be stunned if Jaron did that.
Sure, yeah, he'd be the one.
But it's rare. It's very rare. Very rare. Yeah. It sucks for Romy because then he's in that play. I mean, it was a bad throw by Houck. This is all not an issue if Houck just has a good throw. He's on his back foot. He had plenty of time to throw the ball there. But I get it. A pitcher, especially lanky like Houck off the mound, they're like giraffes.
He thought about going to third first, too.
Yeah,
he was like, do I have time there? No, turn, like fade away. It's an irregular play. When pitchers mess up, it's like they pitch. I don't think they're going to like run off a mound and then be like, woohoo, perfect throw to first. But that whole situation was brutal. But at least they easily could have lost the game because of that. And they don't, so it's not as big a talking point. Felt for Romy, though, because then he just gets lit up by their first baseman who's taken over the entire friggin' base. I don't know what that was all about. He doesn't play first either. This whole offseason, no one wanted first baseman. They were only going for middle relievers. Pete Alonso was begging he was begging the Mets to re-sign him. No one wanted first baseman. Now you look, every team in the world needs a first baseman. It's like, what? It's like NFL teams with linebackers. No one wants to draft him. No one wants to pay him. And then teams are just gutting you in the middle of the field because you don't have linebackers. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is where I'm on Devers' side yelling at just GMs in general. It's like a little common sense in the job, please. Like the idea that this is not a less important position because you just decided it is so stupid. Like, I can't have that.
A lot of stuff happens at first. Game 2 is a perfect example.
So much.
Jerry?
I don't know.
That's right.
I didn't factor that in. That's a good point. Oh,
yeah. It's just like out of all the podcasts that we've ever done, it's the weirdest feeling because the Raffy drama made it feel like they lost the series, but they didn't. They won today and they won the series.
Well, also, let's be real. The final score is a little misleading. It's like it's 5-0, but there's been other 5-0 games where you're like, oh, they fucking crushed them. Like they were just kind of chipping away today. It was just like 1-run innings, and then the Rangers just weren't scoring. So,
which they haven't had a win like that this year.
No, I loved it.
We were saying they only scored the first inning, sometimes the first 3 innings. So having a game like that, really the last 2, just the way they went about winning them is so rare for them. They seem pretty okay player wise on field with everything that's happened so far.
Yeah, it was a comfy win. I think 8 of their 12 runs, something around there, was a 5th inning or later in this series. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to complain about that. And you win 2 out of 3.
Bullpen looked great.
Is what we hope for. Yeah,
both nights. Bullpen looked great. Obviously, the Giolito start. Newcomb shoved. He ate pretty much that whole game, didn't he?
I know. He was actually filthy. Yeah, I know Newcomb's, it was like slop time, but that was. I was looking
at before. I was telling Steve before the show, like the game ended. I played with my kids. We went out to dinner. I sat down when I got home to just be like, what did I miss on the internet today? And I have a DM from our good friend Hunter Knoll. And he's just like, I need you to double down on the Blaze Jordan take today after all the drama. And I go, there's Blaze Jordan drama? What the fuck happened now? And I go back to the timeline and I see from Fox Sports, like one of the Devers quotes. And I was just like, well, that's peculiar. And then I see all the quotes. And like, I was looking at F War in between and B War, just leaders on the team, because I was going to build a nasty Rafaela agenda, which could still happen if we wanted to let it. But Sean Newcomb's like 3rd on the team in F4, like for the whole team. It's crazy.
That is kind of a little crazy. Why? What's your Rafaela manifesto?
He's just, the numbers are saying he's playing better than like what our eyes tell us, and not mine because I love him. Because
I think that's defense, just because like War heavily favors defense and he's great at it.
But it's B War and F War. It's not just one or the other. Like
I know. But they favor defense. Just like he
it matters.
Stinks at hitting. He stinks at hitting.
Not the last 2 days.
Series.
Congrats on the 2 series. Overall, he stinks at hitting.
Sure. So Jackie.
I mean, Lou pointed out on the broadcast that like his approach is changing a little bit. He said something to the effect of
walk today.
He went from swinging at half the pitches every at bat to like a third. So I don't know. I have nothing against Rafaela. It's just, if he's a defense only player, which he is, I'd rather have Roman Anthony here. It's nothing against Rafaela. It's just you are the odd man out. And like I even saw someone trying to defend it the other day. They're like, he's on pace to be a 6-win player. And I'm like, that says more about the WAR stat than it does about Rafaela being a good big league baseball player. He's an excellent defender. He fucking sucks at hitting. And if I can get league average defense and whatever the fuck Roman Anthony is about to unleash offensively on the major league platform, then yeah, I would rather have that. So
I can't have WAR be the defining stat of a generation and then it doesn't apply to Rafaela.
I don't use it as a define. I don't really think there is a one defining stat,
but a lot of people do use
one, dude. Fucking batting average.
Yeah.
What are you even talking about?
Yeah.
His batting average isn't good. Rafaela's poop. Yeah. All right, show over on that note. There really wasn't like a ton from the series. I think we got most of it, but just glad they won a series. Pretty simple. Just win series. You win the AL East.
Yeah. We've already been going for 2 hours, man. So
wow.
Yeah,
it's impressive. Well, I think that shows how many layers there are to this Rafael Devers situation. And to your point, Jerry, it's like we talked about. I think we talked about most of them, but like this is what everyone in the mentions is saying too. Like you'll put a tweet about Raffy out right now. It's split 50-50 of who says what and what side people are on. And there's not just like 2 sides to be on. There's like 20 different like specific zones you can be in about who the alternative is, who kind of deserves most of the blame, who gets some of it. It's a confusing process.
I think what stands out to me the most in terms of how I feel right now is we can't even enjoy the good stuff mostly. Like the Red Sox won the series. A couple days ago, they had a losing record. Now they have a winning record, but we have the Raffy drama.
Exactly. So, I mean, we
2
want to
games out
enjoy
of
the good
first.
stuff, dude. Like
2
Millar
games
wasn't
out of
on the
first.
call. Millar wasn't on the call in the finale. Like we got to build up these good things, man.
You don't like Millar?
I love Kevin Millar. I just think he never shuts up on the broadcast. There's a difference between those two. Know what I'm saying?
I like
I
when
really...
he's talking. I like when he's telling stories. When he is trying to be like, I don't know any of the stats. I know Shaw and sock and dingers. Yeah, it's like,
That's what I know.
I don't care for that. Like just tell the stories, man. Those are awesome.
I don't think I've ever had a player that I enjoyed more when they were on the Red Sox and then enjoy less when they're in the booth. And I'm just being honest. Like I think there's times where, and Dave asked him the question about the first base situation. He literally spent the entire half inning answering that question. It was like 5 minutes where he answered straight. And now I got you look at Raffy there and you put the glove on. Play first base. Loomer, you know this, Loomer. I'll play first base. he can play first base, and he just goes. And Dave can be funny occasionally. He can sneak some in there.
Oh yeah.
Where I forget what he said as a reply, but he was basically just like, no. He said, "I'm glad I asked the question." He's like, "Glad I asked you this because this is the longest answer ever." And Lou was like, "You're gonna comment on the strikeout?" But I just think Kevin just goes for days, and you notice the difference when he's not in there. I like having a little bit of dead air. I like having a little bit of peaceful baseball stuff going on instead of just constant yapping. But he's Millar. I love Millar. I love Kevin Millar.
So you must hate
like,
the alt cast with the Superfan.
What? What does this have to do with you?
I mean that's the unobstructed views is nonstop yapping. There's no talking about the game.
But that's an alt. No, an alt cast is different than a broadcast.
If you're looking for dead air, you ain't gonna get it.
Oh, but see, there's a difference. Like,
oh, I know. That's why it's alternate.
Yapping's like Jake yaps. Like yapping is a specific thing where there's no end to just the blabber. And I'm trying to sift through. I'm like, am I getting anything here? He just puts words in the universe and just keeps saying them. And altcast, you can do segments. You can do a little home run, foul ball, whatever. You flip the little paddles over. Like there's a big difference between that. And
let's play home run, foul ball.
What do you guys call it when you got the paddle like
I don't know.
We didn't really striker ball.
That's the one thing about the show this year. No bits. It was just.
How did that go? By the way, how did the first one go?
You watched it, right?
100%. No,
yeah.
I had Sox and Celtics on, right? Was that going on? I don't even think that was the Celtics one. Damn it. Give me that excuse, Coley. Just say the Celtics were on.
Celtics were not on, I don't think.
I was building a bunk bed. I was not watching the views.
No, Jared, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
That's tough.
I still support you.
You didn't, though. It was good. I mean, there was definitely no bits, which I prefer that. I don't want to spin the wheel and do all the games and stuff. I just want to watch the game and yap. So yeah, in that sense, it was better than last year.
Okay.
The game sucks. So it was just hard to. There was nothing to sink your teeth into. There's no moments to get excited about, or there's no tension, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you. There were some folks saying that the altcast is kind of like a jinx on the Sox and that the record's really bad, but I don't think it's bad.
Not.
I think you guys are like 500.
No, we have a winning record. Yeah,
you guys are the Sox. I feel like you're just 500 like the Sox.
No, there's definitely a winning record with the altcast, so I don't know what.
You've had a couple blowouts. I think that's what it is. A couple big blowouts.
Yeah, there's been some bad games that we've had to cover, but overall the record is over 500. Yeah,
so suck my. You're bad in the booth, not in the altcast.
Right. Yeah, in the booth, it's
bad
a lot of homers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of bad stuff happening when I'm in the booth. Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm the bad boy of Red Sox Superfan of Red Sox broadcasting.
I'm the bad boy of Red Sox Superfans.
Yeah, you guys know.
Red Sox Superfan bad boy Jared Karavis on the Allcast.
Woo! Yeah. Superfan. Super fans need to drink super beers. That's what I say,
folks.
And Blue Moon was born in a ballpark at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. So it's no wonder why you crave it. Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience year-round. And for the moments that you want a lighter option of your favorite beer, reach for Blue Moon Light. It's a refreshing wheat beer brewed with a real tangerine peel for a lighter, exceptional taste at only 95 calories. Mother's Day this weekend, I'm going to be smashing Blue Moons.
For Ma.
Celebrating all those moms out there.
Moons from Ma.
It.
Hashtag moons from Ma.
Yep, at only 95 calories. I'll be drinking Blue Moon on Sunday. And take that to the bank. Inspired by the beer you already love and available year-round. A wheat beer from Blue Moon with exceptional taste and only 95 calories. Brightly brewed with real tangerine peel. Tastes light and refreshing. Nothing compares to the great taste of a Blue Moon Light. Blue Moon made brighter. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared for delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Suck one.
Suck one.
Tyler Milliken's not here, right?
No. Imagine this whole time he's like, I just don't have any thoughts on the matter.
On first base, I got nothing.
He's not here?
No, he's not here.
All right. Steve, who you got for Clark's Ketchup Series MVP?
Yeah, I don't necessarily know how this one's gonna go. I know our guy Will Fleming said similar that it might not be unanimous or even obvious who the guy's gonna be. Right?
I don't think he sent one.
Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah, let me double
That's
check.
how he would say, "Oh no."
Let me check.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Costa's gonna sound. Oh no.
God, I think his knee might be completely fucked.
He did not.
That's crazy.
What? Will, that is so unlike Will.
Jerry.
Yeah, kick him out of here. We
Jerry.
booed him.
You gotta toss him.
I think you gotta toss him.
I think he said he had a sick kid situation going on. So yeah.
This actually seems very convenient for him because he messaged us that he doesn't know if it's 100% that he would nail this one, even though he always does. So I feel like he would.
Always does, but like, even this podcast has felt off because we did an hour and a half on Raffy and like I said, an hour and a half on Raffy, 10 minutes on the series. So
it's kind of what it should have been, though. You know?
Yeah, I agree. No, we did the right thing. It's just very untraditional.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, when he texted earlier, I think my streak of Ketchup correct tie breaks may end. I interpreted that as he doesn't know who's going to win. I didn't realize that meant he wasn't sending one.
I think that's probably what he meant at the time. I don't know. Honestly, I don't fucking know.
I don't think he meant that he wasn't sending. I think he just might have forgot
Jake's
to send.
not
but that's
here.
unlike Will.
T's not here.
Yeah.
Will is not here. So anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anyway, I think it was the most important at-bat of the series. I don't know why this individual, as Jared says all the time, was not walked. You should have walked him. The baseball gods did not want the Red Sox to win Game 2 of this series, but there was a certain individual that did, and his name is Alex Bregman. Mike Clark's Ketchup Series MVP for this series is none other than the Red Sox MVP, Alex Bregman.
It's a good pick. Think I'm gonna have to join you going Alex. Career home run number 200 in that game, Steven. Also had the 2-run knock that was the game winner.
They really should have walked him. They just should have walked him. Like, I don't know.
They absolutely should have walked him.
And they even talked about it and then decided not to. Crazy.
Yeah, like second and third, first base open, the only guy that can hit the baseball on the team, and they were like, let's go after him. Let's get this guy.
Let's throw him like 93 down the middle. Let's see if that'll shake him up.
Yeah. I think Wilyer Abreu deserves consideration. Pack it to Wilyer for his performance, especially in the middle game. At the time, it was a game-tying double and had 2 homers. So Willier is kind of like, I feel like if anyone's going to threaten Breggy for this catch-up, it's going to be Willier, and I honestly debated going Willier for his performance just in the middle game alone. But ultimately, the game-winning hit and the 200th home run, it's going to be Breggy for me. McMahon?
I think Bregman's going to win. I don't think it's a bad choice because of the hit, but I'm looking at the game 2 box score right now. Bregman 3 for 4, 3 RBI, 2 runs. Willier 3 for 4, 3 RBI, 2 runs. They won 6-4. I have a hard time giving it to one guy over the other when they both contributed the same. I understand time. I understand place. They needed 6 to win that game. They needed 5 to win that game. They both contributed heavily. Neither of them contributed really today at the dish. Bregman, to what Steve said, did get in that heads up play in the field. One guy made plays in the field and also contributed offensively in both games, and only one guy, and that's Cedar Rafaela, which is going to be my pick.
Wow.
I packets for both of those gentlemen, obviously, but in terms of 2 hits yesterday, 2 hits today, more platinum glove shit out in center field, I can't overlook that either.
No, you can't.
Get serious.
That's 2 votes. Breggy? 1 vote. Sedan.
A lot of packets for the bullpen too. They had been
big time
as of late and locked in on those 2 wins when both starters. I mean, neither of them got to the 5th or through 5.
Great in the loss.
Yeah, Newcomb, huge package. The reasons you won game 2 and 3 is because Newcomb ate game 1. Honestly, I may change my vote to Newcomb. Like, that's how important he was in that game 1.
Yeah.
The bullpen gave up 1 earned run all series.
Shout out to the pen.
Shout him out.
I don't know what to do because we don't have Will motherfucking Fleming.
He would have absolutely picked Bregman. We know that.
Yeah, I think he was, the way he phrased it, he was leaning. Alex.
He would not. We know he would not have picked Rafaela.
No.
He may have picked Willier because he's a big Willier guy. We know that. But I
think
like
Rafaela could have hit a walk-off grand slam like twice. It's like, I just don't know.
Who was on base though?
Yeah, I know.
It was
the
Alex
guys in front of him did the hard work. He threw him a meatball.
All right, to the panel we go. I think I'm going to close with Hogdale.
Yeah, of course. Good call.
Wow. Closing my
Maloney.
committee on the 10.
Lou Merlone, Alex Bregman, Tom Karen. I'm going Bregman. Double play today in the 3rd, chasing the runner back before the force was brilliant, and he was the star yesterday. OB. I'll go Breggy.
What is he doing, by the way, OB?
Talking socks.
Okay.
That's that goodness.
He does other stuff,
Okay.
but he's mostly talking socks. Then we have Jemai Webster. And he said, Big Willie from Venny for this one.
Wow.
Willier Abreu said, apologize for the late response. Had to grab Devers' sound going scorched earth on the organization just now.
It was funny. Jemai's question was fine. I forget exactly what he asked, but it was in a tone of like, so Raffy, like, are you everything all right, brother? Like, is everything
are you good?
Are we like good right now? It seems like you're pissed, huh?
Yeah.
See.
Will Middlebrooks. Will Middlebrooks said,
He voted for himself.
I'm trying to scroll up because we ended up talking about London after.
Naturally.
Willier.
Oh, there you go.
Willier. Is anyone keeping count here?
I am.
Yeah,
I
it's
think we got
Bregman already
5.
won. Willier's at 2, and Rafael's got 1. Rafael / Newcomb sharing 1.
Rafaela right behind Breggy, 4 behind.
Okay. So we need is this brings us to Hogdale? We got everyone?
I think so.
Will Fleming
TC?
taking this
TC?
one? No, we got TC.
He said TC's. TC was the one who talked about the double play.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's right. He did. Let's go, Hog.
What is up, brethren? We're back. 2 series absence. There was no catch-up. It was long. It was arduous. It fucking sucked. We're here. The Red Sox did the damn thing. Took 2 of 3 from what is a pretty good Texas Rangers team. And this was a weird one, honestly. In terms of, like, total outstanding performances, no player, like, had a great game or, like, even a good game in all 3 games. So, to me, is why, like, the decision of, like, who gets the catch-up comes down to 2 dudes for me. The first guy, who I'm mentioning, who's, like, not getting my catch-up, but is going to get major packets here, is Alex Bregman. I thought Bregman, obviously, had a tremendous game, too. Had hits in multiple games in this series. He did go 0 for here in the last game, sadly. But, I mean, he just continues to show, like, why he was worth every single penny. I have loved the Alex Bregman experience. But listen, maybe it's a bit, more emotional for me. But, like, I want to give my catch-up nod to Wilyer Abreu. Wilyer Abreu, I think, like, almost everyone in the fandom is just sitting around waiting for this guy to fall back to earth. Like, you know what? Like, hey, Wilyer's good, but he's not this good. And I think we need to ask the question. I don't know. Maybe he is just this fucking good. Because every time he starts to fall off again, bam, you get a game like Game 2 today where he smacks another couple of home runs. You look at his under-the-hood statistics. All of his hard-hit metrics say that this is not a fluke and, like, maybe this is just who he is. And, man, like, I just got to give full props to Wilyer Abreu. I think he has been fucking phenomenal this season. I don't know where this team would be without him. Or Bregman, for that matter. They're the 2 pillars that are holding this team together this season. So, yeah, my catch-up vote goes to Wilyer Abreu. Let's fucking go, boys.
There you go, Hog.
All right. So, what's the final vote tally? It's Bregman.
It's Breggy. It's Breggy 5-3. Yeah.
5-3-1.
And then Sadon only 4 behind.
Yeah.
This feels so odd. That it
That's how you know he's not the closer. That's how you know he's not the closer.
All right, Hog's not the closer. Hog's still great. He doesn't have closer stuff, apparently.
I mean, it's not like he voted for Wilyer and he was the only one to vote for Wilyer. It's not like that.
For sure.
But he's clearly a setup guy. That's okay. That's fine. This is when Will would come in and say Breggy, right? Am I wrong?
Will,
I think so.
He may have picked Wilyer. Like, he is a Wilyer guy.
He is a Wilyer guy, but he loves Breggy.
He loves Breggy.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
I don't know. I feel weird without Will closing it out. It feels weird now.
You made the right call not hitting the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music is only after the motherfucking and then whoever the person is.
Yeah.
But for the record, though, I'll still give an update on the MVPs. This is the first 2-time Clark's Ketchup Series MVP winner of the year in Alex Bregman. Jaron Duran 1, Trevor Story 1, Wilyer Abreu 1, Garrett Crochet 1.
I thought Bregman had like 4, honestly. Feels like he wins it every time.
It's been spread out. It's been really spread out.
It has. No, I mean, Bregman's the longer, honestly, to Hogdale's point, the longer they wait to extend both of those gentlemen, I don't really know what they're waiting for on those fronts.
Extend Bregman?
Yeah.
How you
he can
gonna do
opt out.
that?
He can just leave. Why wouldn't you just give him the Chapman deal? Matt Chapman, not Aroldis.
Give him the Aroldis contract.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, what? Yeah, would you want him out?
I'm not saying I want him out. I'm saying if I'm him, I'm doing
I think they're fine
exactly
with.
what I came here to do. It's a 1-year pillow contract to prove that I'm fucking unbelievable, and then you get your long-term commitment. I'm not saying that shouldn't be from the Red Sox, but I'm probably going to opt out and try and cash in on a long-term deal. Yeah.
Wouldn't disagree with it.
I just hope it's here. That's all.
There's no buzz around a Wilyer extension, and I get it, but I don't at the same time.
Well, I mean, because they're probably, I don't know. I don't think that he's safe from trade talks.
That's why I get it. But at the same time, is that the guy we're sure we want to move?
I want nothing to do with him.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, yeah, I think I would just pay him. And if I have to move him in 3 years on a reasonable deal, fine. But I definitely don't feel like he's a little streaky, but coming into today, he's 980 OPS, 172 OPS plus, like 2-WAR player already. Like that's insane production.
You're preaching the choir, buddy boy.
What was the stat? Maybe Jay had it, or maybe you had
285 batting average. I think that's what Jay had.
Yeah, no, that's it. Jay, that's the only stat that guy's got. Makes one nug every day. It's his batting average.
Yeah.
But it's like there's 3 players in the American League with X amount of home runs, X amount of WAR, X amount of like OPS, and it's Judge, it's Bregman, and it's Willier. Like it's those 3.
He's been great.
I mean, that's the holy trinity of the American League.
Yeah, that's how they. That's
those
how
are
they
your
describe
3 guys.
Those guys.
Those are my 3 guys, honestly. Those are my guys.
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Tactical move incoming!
Stop and Shop. Look ahead. Stop and Shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Look ahead.
Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having to Stop and Shop, getting it done for all of you?
Stop and Shop, look ahead, brought to you by Stop and Shop. Head on down to Stop and Shop right now and you can get 10 cents off your motherfucking tangerines when you buy at least 5 pounds of tangerines only at Stop and Shop when you use the promo code section 10 in person. I look forward to the day that we have a section 10 live show before a playoff series and Tyler performs that song live in front of a sold out crowd.
He'd be great.
Yeah. Kansas City Royals. It's a weekend series. Hunter Dobbins versus Michael Lorenzen. It's Garrett Crochet versus Cole Reagans. And it is Lucas Giolito versus Seth Lugo. That is a 2:10 start on Mother's Day. I'm still adjusting to American time, brother.
I hear you, bro.
My brain is like, what time is it? It's fucking
get me back to the homeland, Big Brit.
Yeah.
All right, let's cook
Big
then,
Brit's trying to adjust, man.
Cook.
Hunter Dobbins, 2-1, a 3.78 ERA, 132 WHIP, and a 7 strikeouts per 9. First struggle of an outing for Dobbins this year. Twins hit him hard. 9 hard hit balls with 8 over 100 miles an hour and 3 over 105. There were some positives despite the 7 hits and the 3 earnies. His 4-seam held hitters to 2 for 11 clip in this with a single and a double. It doesn't miss a lot of bats, and it was only 9% whiff rate in the game, but only 90.7 miles per hour exit velo. That's pretty solid. The Red Sox are 2-1 in his starts and undefeated when scoring more than 3 runs. Michael Lorenzen, 3-3, a 4.23 ERA, a 141 WHIP, and a 7.7 strikeouts per 9. 33 years old, 11-year vet. He struggled a little bit with his control this year. 8 home runs already allowed just after 17 last year. 5 wild pitches leads MLB. 3.3 walks per 9, pretty high. Has 3 good starts this year in which he went 6 innings and 1 earned run. His 4 bad starts are all 8+ base runner games and a game with 4 homers. That 4-homer game was his last time out against the Orioles. That line was 4 2/3, 7 hits, 5 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and 4 homers. Curveball was responsible for 3 of the home runs. Royals are 4-3 when he pitches this year and 1-3 when he allows more than 1 earned run. Garrett Crochet, 3-2, a 2.02 ERA, a 106 WHIP, and a 10.3 strikeouts per 9. The Red Sox are 0-2 when Garrett Crochet allows 3 runs or more, earned or unearned, and they're 5-1 when he allows 2 or less. Crochet has been able to bring a level of consistency to the rotation this year. double-digit whiffs in 7 of 8 starts, 5+ innings in every start, 6+ Ks in 6 out of 8 starts. The velo did drop a decent amount between his last 2 starts. On April 29th, the 4-seam was 96. On May 4th, the 4-seam was 94. So something to keep an eye on with the velocity. Cole Reagans, this dude is nasty. 2-1, a 3.79, a 115 whip, and a 14.4 strikeouts per 9. Had a breakout year last year, as many of you already know. 3.14 ERA, 2.99 FIP, and an AL leading 10.8 strikeouts per 9. So far, the ERA looks a little fluky at 3.79. The FIP is 2.36, so he's much better. The 14.4 strikeouts per 9, as you know, that's no joke. Has double-digit strikeouts in 4 of 7 starts this year. He's coming off a 5-inning outing of 3 hits and 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. He's been very hot and cold this year. In games with 10+ strikeouts, he has a 1.16 ERA, 4 walks, 1 homer. In games with less than 10 strikeouts, a 9 ERA, 7 walks, and 3 homers. That'll be a fun one on Saturday. Lucas Giolito, 0-1 with an 8.38 ERA, a 1.86 whip, and an 8.4 strikeouts per 9. Everything good that was said about the 4-seamer from his debut. The second start was the complete opposite. First start, 93.3 miles per hour. Hitters were 1 for 11 against it, 5 strikeouts, 31% whiff rate. Second start, 91.6 miles per hour, 8 for 13, a double, no strikeouts, and a 14% whiff rate. And to top it off, he threw 1 curveball, 1 slider. Pretty easy to game plan against that, which is why he went 3 2/3, 10 hits, 6 earned, 1 walk, and only 2 strikeouts. He's been heavy on the 4-seam and changeup, but from 21 to 23, he was at least a 20% slider guy. He needs to throw it enough for hitters to think about that. So we'll see how Lucas Giolito does in the finale. Seth Lugo will be opposing him. 3-3, a 2.84 ERA, a 1.11 whip, and a 6.6 strikeouts per 9. Complete opposite of Giolito. He throws 10 pitches. All 10 are over 2%, which essentially equals Giolito's 3rd or 4th highest usage pitch. He is in the 97th percentile of breaking run value, but he throws too many. Extremely consistent. He's completed 5 innings in all 8 starts and completed 6 innings in 6 of 8. He's not going to blow anyone away. He's only had 2 starts with 6+ strikeouts and only 2 starts with 10+ whiffs. His worst start of the year was, the short porch. The Yankees got him for 4 solo home runs. He's been lights out his last 3 starts, a 1.31 ERA and a 5.14 OPS. The Royals are 5-2 when he pitches, and they have won 3 straight with Seth Lugo on the mound. So that is Hunter Dobbins versus Michael Lorenzen. That's Garrett Crochet versus Cole Reagans. That's Lucas Giolito versus Seth Lugo. Prediction time. Oh, also Jake voted for Alex Bregman, by the way, too, if you want to put that on the graphic. Prediction time, Steven.
Yes, that series finale is scary to me. Seth Lugo and Coley, we had talked about this last episode, and I think someone had tweeted out a graphic, shout out to whoever did this, that I think it is tracked somewhere of earned runs per start that pitchers give up. So we'll just call that ERS. That can be a Section 10 stat. Seth Lugo's got a clean 2 ERS this year. Lucas Giolito is at 4.5. Understandable. It's 2 starts, guys, but that's an 8.38 ERA for Lucas Giolito. Who the hell knows what he's going to do in that series finale? And the Red Sox winning this series finale today was nice because they had lost 3 out of 4 finales. Can't say as much about Sunday. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I think they're losing that last one there. Royals are extremely hot right now. They've won 15 of 17 games. Hottest team in baseball. Still not great offensively. 22nd in the majors in runs scored, 27th in homers. But they have the best team ERA in the American League. All of these stats lead me to believe that the Red Sox will have a couple opportunities for some big swings. Will they get those big swings from a Rafael Devers or Alex Bregman? I'm going to lean maybe, but probably not. I got the Red Sox winning 1 out of 3 in this series. I just think the Royals are playing too well, and I rarely do 1 out of 3. I feel like I'm due for a 1 out of 3, so I would like to be wrong, but yeah, Sox taking 1.
McMahon.
So I was pessimistic last time intentionally, especially since we had no Jake. and then they won 2 out of 3. I want to do that again so they do take 2 out of 3, but now since they know that, I can't do that. That's not how that works, because my brain is telling me 2 out of 3. I'm looking forward to this stretch. It goes through like the Mets, was it 15 straight games against good teams after playing what T said you and T, Jared said last show about we haven't played anyone. It's been the weakest schedule in baseball. I think that's going to be tremendously beneficial for us. I think we're going to do well on this stretch to the point where we're going to be very aggravated when we go back to being mediocre after this stretch. So I am going to go 2 out of 3. I'm like that. I'm glad that Saturday game is happening not on Mother's Day, because I very much look forward to watching legitimately 2 of the best pitchers in baseball go head to head. We haven't been able to do that with one on our side in a while. So that's going to be marquee shit to me.
I agree.
That's a good point on Mother's Day. Missing the Giolito start for a lot of folks is maybe not a bad thing.
I'll still be watching. I subscribe to both of your thoughts.
Okay.
Because I had a similar thought as Coley, where I wanted to say it with Maz, but I was like, I know that this take is going to get shut down on this platform, but maybe in a safer space like Section 10, I can say it. I'm curious to see what the Red Sox do against good teams. I wonder if they play up to their competition. I wonder, because that's what happened last year. The Red Sox were dilly-dallying, floating around, and then when June rolled around, they had a series against the Phillies, and they had a series against the Yankees, and everyone was like, this is where we get fucking dildoed, and they're going to be 6 games under 500. They took both of those series, and that's kind of where everyone started to believe in the 2024 Boston Red Sox. They were like,
1,000%.
They've been playing very mediocre, but they just took 2 series against, at the time, it was the 2 best teams in baseball. It was the best team in the American League. It was the best team in National League. I'm curious to see. I'm not promising you that will happen. I'm not saying that's my gut that will happen, but until it happens and I can't rule it out, I'm interested to see if it's going to happen. I'm interested to see if the Red Sox playing good teams will wake them up a little bit. It's hard to say that after they just took a series against the Rangers, but the Rangers have a losing record. I want to see the Red Sox against good competition. What does that look like? So with that being said, I got 1 out of 3. So that's why I said I subscribe to both of your thoughts. My gut is telling me 1 out of 3. I'm not gonna be dishonest. I think they win the first one. I don't like their chances in the next 2. And that's no disrespect to Garrett Crochet. I just think that Cole Reagans is equally as nasty, and it's the home field advantage thing. If it comes down to a battle of the bullpens and the Royals have home field advantage, then that means that you are at a disadvantage. And then the series finale on Mother's Day just feels like a mismatch, and I don't like our chances. So
right.
I'm going to go 1 out of 3
on Saturday. That wouldn't be.
You could. That's entirely possible, but highly unlikely with the way that Bobby Witt Jr. plays in Kansas City. So I'm going to go 1 out of 3 for our beloved Boston Red Sox. And they'll get it going against a different good team.
Reagans with a 1.35 against the Red Sox. Because in my mind, I'm like, he always shoves against us, and that is true.
He's a lefty, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't hit lefties at all last year, so that was a great year for him to do that against us. It should also be noted, Jared, before those Phillies and Yankees series last year, Rafael Devers didn't tell Craig Breslow to go fuck himself. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, is that a good or a bad? That could go either way. Maybe the whole clubhouse is like, yeah, fuck that guy. I've
that guy doesn't stink
now
that you mention it.
I do think he sucks as well.
Bregman's like, he gave me $40 million, but man, he made me work for it. It was February before he even offered it.
I know. This guy's the worst.
Well, I think you know what time it is.
When I look ahead, and you wind up dead if you don't listen to what Steve says. Even then, you might still wind up dead. Caught in a tornado, get smoked by your neighbor's shed. When I look ahead, when I look ahead, Billy's got me bears. with your mouth!
Weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
You chew them with your mouth.
You do chew them with your mouth, Jerry. The Red Sox take on the Kansas City Royals in a 3-game set at Kauffman Stadium starting on Friday night. And let me just say, it is a nice change of pace to have the Red Sox playing in Kansas City in May instead of like the beginning of August when it's 120 degrees. Game 1, Friday, 7:40 p.m. What the?
I think you said 7. You said you threw a 7 out there. Did you not?
Well, why you always start with the time?
I know, but you said I heard.
You did hear a 7. That is his trigger. Number.
Yeah.
I know, but you never do it on the time.
Yeah, I know, but you said.
All right. 7:40 p.m. Eastern time, first pitch, 76 degrees.
Is it really? First pitch, 76 degrees? 76 degrees on the one game that I picked them to win, by the way. This is the dub game. I could feel it. This felt like a 76. This is a 76. This is a win. They're going to be 2 games under 500 under a 76-degree sky.
Sunny on Friday, a 0% chance.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's an incredible night at the ball yard. 0% chance of rain, 8-mile-an-hour winds from the northeast, of course. Just a wonderful night for baseball.
Oh, baby.
They call it the K, I think. Do they call it the K, Jerry?
They call it the K, yeah.
All right, at the K. Game 2, Saturday night. The time's coming up, Jared. Now I always when I say the time. 7:10 p.m. Eastern, first pitch, 82 degrees. Nope, 82 degrees. Sunny, 0% chance of rain, 5-mile-an-hour winds from the east. Another wonderful night for some ball. It's going to obviously go down. It's going to go down to the 70s. It's going to go down to the 70s. It's going to go down
time?
As the time goes on. Game 3, series finale. As time goes on, it'll get cooler.
All right.
Sunday, 2:10 p.m. Eastern. It is Mother's Day for anyone that might have forgot.
76. It's gonna be fucking hot as balls.
Get your mother a gift. If
it's gonna be
so
hot. It's gonna be
81
so hot. Yeah,
degrees. Were you trying to do like a reverse psychology there, where they try to sneak into 76 by chance?
Nah,
81 degrees.
81. Boo. That sucks.
Sunny.
Dude. I don't want to play. I don't want to play.
0% chance of rain. It will top out at 85 degrees.
Bold. That's a little
during
bold.
this game. 6-mile-an-hour winds.
It's gonna be 85.
The south.
Coley.
Did you? Well, I'm about to give you credit. You guaranteed none of those games would get rained out, right? You did drop an SPG on that?
Of course,
yeah.
You were dangerous.
No, my SPG, if I'm not mistaken, from the last series, is that heading into the finale, it would be a 1-1 series, and that was
true.
correct.
That's what it was. Yes, I just wanted to give. I knew you had an SPG recently, and I wanted.
I did two SPGs. It said it would be a 1-1 series, and that the Red Sox would win at least one game in the series. Both were correct.
Yeah.
Are they the same thing? Yes, but still, both were 100% correct. But yeah, great weather series at the K this weekend in Kansas City, Missouri. Red Sox.
I don't know.
Royals.
I don't know, but that last game, that's not great weather for me.
I think it's going to be fine. It's going to be a little on the hot side, but again, it's Kansas City.
That's
you're
what
acting
I
like
mean.
you're going to be there.
Sometimes I have been.
I've been there, so like I don't like the current weather in Missouri. Okay.
Yeah, I have like an emotional connection to it, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. But yeah, great weather. That is your weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. You chew them with your mouth.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're getting at least 176er in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you jumped the gun on that. That's why I was extra upset, because it was like you're about to be able to play this.
I mean, I was.
I say time first.
I know, but I was still. I was still actually surprised by it. No,
you were.
Oh yeah,
I tried to sneak it on you a little bit.
Yeah, you did, and I didn't. You know, I really didn't think that it was going to be 76 on Friday. I didn't think that. So
it is.
It is, and that's why I was happy about it, because that's my favorite degree. That's my favorite temperature.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that sends you the images from Fenway or anywhere around the bigs
really.
76.
Anytime it's 76. Yeah.
If it's 76, you got to send the picture in.
I'm going to know about it. I saw some fucking domestic terrorists say that 76 is too hot.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, like it's I saw that it's 76 degrees. I went outside today. It was 76 and I was hot. Well, you're also an asshole is what I have to say to
let 'em have
that.
it. Mhm.
Yeah. That's what I have to say to anyone.
Let him
that
have
that-
it, Jerry.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Yeah,
Anyone,
no,
listen,
what else do you have to say to that guy? No, say something else.
Let me say something to that guy. You know what? Let me say something to this guy. Oh, I'm outside. Look at me. It's 76. I'm sweating. Take your fucking shirt off. Like what?
Yeah.
Like that. Like maybe dress better or more appropriately for the weather. You don't see me going outside and shoveling in a fucking snowstorm wearing flip flops. I've actually done that, but I had socks on. But I had socks on because that's what you got to do. You got to be ready for the weather outside. And I, you look at me, someone that's always ready for the weather outside. 76 degrees. Ooh. You can just roll out there, gym shorts, t-shirt, socks, sandals, sunglasses, maybe a little visor.
Ooh.
Maybe a little visor. Yeah. Yeah. That's the good shit right there. Is 76.
Textbook visor weather. 76.
Yeah. Also, Jared, textbook visor guy. You always wear visors. I'm
All
like
of
this
the
guy.
outside guy, Jared Carabas. Yeah.
I know.
Whoa.
You are so outside all the time.
Hey. Now that I have
Hey.
a puppy, I have to be an outside guy.
It sucks.
Yeah. Trust me, for reasons I can't disclose.
Ace is kind of letting you be an inside guy, though. He's like, I can just pee and poop here. We don't have to go outside.
He's been a lot better. He's been a lot better. He was in the studio with me today for Baseball is Dead, and
Any good takes?
He had some good takes. Yeah, he got some camera time. But he took a little nap at my feet, and Will Fleming. Hold on.
Oh no. Or is this good? This could be good.
He said, "Clip didn't send from the plane. Fuck. I'm sure you are done." And I said, "We're still going, but we're about to finish. But if you can still fire it off right now, we can get that. Fire it off."
If he comes on here and drops a Willier, it's going to be devastating.
Well, that's not going to tie it, is it?
No, that's why it's going to be devastating. If he
it's
ties
just
it,
that he's been right. I mean,
Fleming.
Maybe this is a Garrett project, but he's been right. I would like to know how long it's gone. I don't think it's been his entire KKSMVP career.
I think it has. What
has
he
it
been
been?
wrong?
I don't ever recall him going last, saying someone's the MVP, and me.
He
being
had the
like,
Nationals the time we all voted for the Nationals.
He wasn't always last, though. We decided to put him last because of the energy and the.
He got bumped up in the batting order.
No, he did. We put him.
I know.
Basically, I mean, this is the equivalent of cleanup if you go last on Clark's Ketchup. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember him being wrong either. So this would be. I don't want to say this would be a first. It's just like we haven't never gotten the submission from Will.
Sounds like it
Didn't
might
we
be
make
coming.
him. We made him the closer because it was tied once, and we were like, well, tie goes to Will. I thought that was
Tie goes.
I think that was the origins. Yeah, that sounds right.
Tie goes to Will, as they say.
Well, we learned pretty early that Will was just always getting the guy right.
Right.
He was just constantly picking the one that did get the MVP. So
The Nationals one feels right to me. He was like, it's Davey Martinez. And we were like, holy shit. Like, how was he on our wavelength?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a good stretch there where it's like, he's got to be like listening. How is he listening? This has already been sent in. It was bizarre.
Yeah, like this isn't out there yet publicly. Like we're
The most useless magic trick of all time.
Yeah.
Aren't you
I can hear
aren't you
podcasts in the
Clark's Ketchup
future.
guy?
Like, that sucks.
Yeah. Now we're just biding our time till we get this.
Now
clip.
we're just gonna buy time so that this thing will send in.
I'll wait all
4
night.
hours long. Yeah.
I'll wait all night. What do you think? You think he went Willier or you think he went Breggy?
I think it went Bregman.
I think he went Bregman. If it were any other player, I would guarantee you Bregman.
What if he went Newcomb?
If he went Newcomb, he knows ball. But if he went Willier here, I wouldn't be shocked because he is the Willier guy.
Well, we're about to find out because I have it right here.
Nervous.
Oh, you got it?
I got it.
Nervous.
I just reread the text and now I'm not as confident it's Bregman.
All right. You ready for it?
He said it like he's gonna say Willier.
You ready?
Yep.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ, boys. Did we need that one or what? Sorry, I'm currently in the bathroom on the Red Sox team playing, had some family stuff going on, scatterbrained all over the place.
Yeah.
But when I left Fenway Park, I had one clear thought in my mind, and that was a little fear that this would not be a vote that broke a tie, because I thought that I might be in a camp that just did not align with what everybody felt. The more that I think about it, with the smell of urine cakes in my nose, the more I realize that, God willing, the universe of Clark's Ketchup panel voters agrees with me. Because this one is pretty simple. Like, sure, Bruce Bochy gets a packet. Wilyer Abreu, unbelievable. Like, he's becoming the most dependable hitter in the history of the world against the Texas Rangers, and his story was great. But this thing is pretty clear cut as far as I'm concerned. Not only does he get the offense going yesterday, 2-0, jolts him with a blast to left field. He has all the big hits. He puts them ahead yesterday. The double play today was unbelievable. It's everything you ever wanted when you signed him. He should opt out and ask for $80 million. The Clark's Ketchup Series MVP is Alex motherfucking Bregman.
He did it again.
Let's go. He did it again.
He did it again. Hey. It was, first of all, congratulations to Alex Bregman, Clark's Ketchup Series MVP, two-time, first ever two-time in 2025 Clark's Ketchup Series MVP winner. I'm glad he got the proper celebration for this award, because he didn't get it without Will's submission. Now that we have it, we get the proper celebration, and the streak lives on for Will Fleming. I mean, I was very concerned that he was like that would have been the icing on the cake of the I guess the weird vibes of this particular episode. It would have been like, yeah, that's not how we do things. That's not how we do things around here. But no, he nailed it as he always does every single time. What he does.
He's the GOAT. There's nothing else to say. I mean, it's crazy. I reread the text and thought it meant that he's a Willier guy, so he's going to go Willier, but he thinks more will go Bregman. Right. He thought it over as he was smelling pee, and he picked the right thing. So credit to him, man. He picked the right guy, and that guy gets a celebration now.
He's just like, and the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP is
I always love the last one, because you just don't know it has that punch coming, and then it just
there's more. There's more.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. That thing keeps going and going and going.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird recording that at your house, but I'm glad we got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is kind of what Coley sounds like.
Coley has
there's just more
farts.
there's
I
more
can't believe
bass to it. Yeah, there's more bass to it.
Much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like rumbles the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I feel more complete. Now we feel more like full with that. There we go.
Yeah, I think if you're a listener, you didn't get cheated on this one.
No.
No, not as we roll up to hour 3. I don't know that they can complain about that.
No. What are you doing?
Yeah. Talking to Will.
Okay. When I see you do smirky doos, I never know what's coming up when you got the soundboard to your
I'm
right.
saying thank you. I said thank you for saving the episode.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the season.
Don't know.
Might have. That could have thrown everything up. You never know the one thing that could mess the whole season up. That could have been
right. That's right. Coley, final thoughts?
It'd be so funny if Brez, like, I don't want this. If he traded Devers for a first baseman, it'd be very funny. Like, in some level, it'd be pretty funny. If he was just like Devers for Nathaniel Lowe, lock it in. Like, it would be kind of funny.
He just doesn't even let him play another game. It happens before the Kansas City series.
He made him fly to Kansas City to then fly to somewhere else. Yeah. But outside of that, I don't think so. Don't think so at all, Jerry.
Okay.
Free Blaze Jordan. Just move him up to AAA. I'm not saying bring him up to here, but he's proven all he's going to prove at AA. Move him up to AAA. Have him as a depth option, because now all our depth is in the majors. So just have him in AAA ready to go.
You know what my final thought is?
Yeah, what do you got?
Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets to first pitch. They have killer last minute deals, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. When is the next time they're home on a weekend? Not this weekend, but the weekend after?
Yeah, brother. The next time they're home.
Who is it against?
Debuting the City Connect jersey.
Is that on the Friday or no?
Friday against the Braves.
Are they debuting it on the Friday?
Mm-hmm. Off day the Thursday before. And
Do you
that's when
want to
they
come
announce them.
with me?
Oh, with you. I didn't know if it was just like, do I want to come? I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. Do you just want to come right now? Yeah,
You
I
wanna
would. I would love to go with you. That'd be great. Yeah, let's do it.
Coley, you want to come?
When is it?
Friday, a week from tomorrow, or today, whenever people listen.
I can't plan that far in the future, brother.
That's a lot. Yeah.
You know what? That's why they have last minute deals, so you
That's
can save
exactly
up to 60% off buying last minutes for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more when you choose a section. You let Game Time choose the seats for you. The fees are included. Know your total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I would actually like to do that, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be at that game. I want to see the new City Connects and all that.
I'm not a hard no.
There you go.
All right, Coley's a maybe. T's out.
T's definitely out. No chance.
I'm not even gonna ask the motherfucker. Yeah, how long is he in Vegas for? He's at a bachelor. For anyone that's like, where's T? He's at a bachelor party in Vegas. Probably.
I do find it funny that T didn't get to see any of this Rafael Devers stuff go on. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he saw it when he landed, but he didn't get to get those likes for the news.
Oh, he would have been aggregating like a.
Oh, that would have been, the fingers would have been moving at a crazy rate.
Well, Steve, did I already ask you your final thoughts?
I know, I got one, and it involves our guy Mikey. So we were coming home last week from the Woo Sox game on Saturday and taking the Mass Pike. Mike is driving, a little bit of an aggressive driver, as you would expect. And so he honks his horn as we're on the Pike. And yes, we were at the time passing Fenway Park, but I did not think these things were, connected in any way, shape, or form. I just assumed he was ready to swear at somebody on the road. And sure enough, I was like, I'm looking around, like, there's no car that did anything crazy. Like, what's going on, Mikey? And I'm like, what was that? And he goes, oh, it's Fenway. I'm honking at Fenway. What do you mean? I'm doing a double tap to honk at Fenway. And I'm like, like you just honked at Fenway Park? Like, was there an expected reaction to honking at Fenway Park? This became a huge debate. And I said I would bring it up on the podcast, so I'm bringing it up now. Of how many times in the history of ever do you think someone on the Mass Pike has honked at Fenway Park? Mikey said it has happened hundreds of thousands of times. And I immediately was like, that's the craziest thing. I've known him for 10 years. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard him say. There's no way that hundreds of thousands of Fenway's not even that close to the Pike. Yeah, you can see it, but it's like what is there again? I get back to like is there an expected reaction to honking? Like someone up there goes, hey, how you doing? Like you can't even hear those honks, I don't think, from the park.
It's him telling an inanimate object, go ahead with his car. That's how he's letting Fenway to know, like, it's your, go ahead. Like, go ahead.
I mean, it's funny because it is a Mikey thing to do. It's like just like, yeah, I'm honking at Fenway. I don't know who does that.
Moron.
I said it happens maybe like, I don't know, a handful of times a year. And he's like, no, that's great. That's wild.
No
way.
I think it's happening maybe daily. And if Mikey's driving past it every day, maybe he is right with the hundreds.
He's probably the one that's doing it.
Most of it, but I bet it's a thing. I mean, when I'm passing it, I'm always like, what's the the big gun sign there. I think of that before I even think of Fenway.
I think
I remember that gun sign.
Is it down?
Oh, it's been down for a long time.
Yeah, now it's like the Jimmy Fund or something. Yeah, it's like kids.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been gone for
different type of horror.
Half a
Let's say
decade.
it happens like 3 times a week. We'll times that by 4 for months. We'll times that by 12. Yeah, that's 1,000 times a year. I think 1,000 times a year sounds about
For 100
right.
years.
Then that's 10,000. It's not hundreds of thousands of times. But also, like, what's the history of the Mass Pike and Fenway Park in terms of like being able to see it? It's not like you only had monster seats there for the last 22 years. So that changes how much of it you can see from the actual highway. But
is Fenway Park older than the automobile horn?
It could be.
It's probably close. Yeah, 1912 versus when did the horn start?
That definitely wasn't a day one feature.
Yeah, I don't think
like
so.
The Model
Someone's
T.
on the Mass Pike and like, I don't know what the initial honk was. Oh, what do you mean, honey? I'm saying hi to Fenway Park.
Like there weren't other cars on the road to be honking at. You could just yell at people to move.
Yeah, it gained popularity in the early 1900s, with one of the first ones being in 1908. All right.
Okay. Wow.
All right. You could have been honking at this thing from the jump.
I feel like you had to squeeze it. Like it was just on the front and you had to awooga people.
It 100% did some cartoonish sound, and it probably took a lot of effort. It wasn't as easy as just a little double tap and some horns come out. But anyway, hundreds of thousands of times. I don't know about that, Mikey, but I think I'm curious what the listeners think, because they always chime in if we have a closing thought like this. So let me know, how many times do you think someone driving by on the Mass Pike has honked at Fenway Park?
I hate this segment because this is going to be directly responsible for a legit uptick in accidents right there from people honking.
Easily.
People are going to start. That number is going to get hit because of this conversation, but people who don't know are going to be like, who are you honking at, and cause accidents.
Absolutely. I was completely thrown off. It took me a good 10, 15 seconds to realize he didn't actually honk at another car and he was just honking at a park. It completely threw me off.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, he literally did a go ahead to Fenway. Crazy. But that's Mikey. That's what he does.
That's what he does. He's the best. Best to ever do it. All right, we'll be back on Sunday night, Monday morning for you guys after the Kansas City Royals series. Be a really good one on Saturday. Hell of a pitching matchup. And more reaction to what I can only imagine will be more fallout from the Raffy situation. Like, this thing ain't over. It wasn't just him speaking to them. Yeah, it wasn't him just speaking to the media. And then we just kind of pleasantly move on and go about our days.
Well.
There's more coming on that from what I understand. So there will be more that comes from that. That's it from Jerry Superfan. I'll see you guys on Monday. Ba-doop, doop, doop.
Buenas noches, amigos.